What up, Young Bucks, old goats, 139. What's up, fellas? I got Tank. I got the Bomb.
What's going on?
What up, boys?
Here, bro, Friday night. It's almost a full moon. If I start howling at the moon, don't be fucking surprised by the end of the show, dude, because I'm drinking and I'm hairy. So you never know what could fucking happen, dude.
That's your usual condition.
Yes, especially on Fridays.
The norm.
Yeah, nothing special going on. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I heard there was an opening at Buckingham Palace. So.
Oh, is that why the getup?
Yeah.
I thought you were just going out after the show to somewhere. That's why you were dressed like that.
Might be. Maybe I just came.
Oh, what do you mean came? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Sorry, I had some technical difficulties.
So, yeah, I wasn't sure if you just came from Disney World or if this is you're trying to get in the royal family.
Both. I
little
did
bit of
just
both.
come from Disney World. Yep.
How was the world of Disney?
Well, it was good, dude. It was fun, man. Different when you go with a kid.
Absolutely.
As you should, I think. This is for kids.
Well, there was a time
Yeah,
when you went, like, with your friends and stuff, or with your parents, or
Well, then you're a kid at that point, right?
right. There's different stages of the Disney World
Whoa.
experience, right?
I've gone with Ashley
Exactly.
alone.
I remember going just with my wife as boyfriend and girlfriend.
I find that there's only like 3 stages of Disney. There's when you go as a kid, then there is that, girlfriend, you go with your girlfriend, or there could be the horror nights thing, with friends and stuff. And then there really should just be when you have kids.
Well, yeah, I think you covered them all. That I don't know what other scenarios are there.
Wow.
As a grandparent.
Well,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I know some people in like the 30
Club.
group, that go like
Religiously.
without kids. They just love Disney.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I don't want to judge them, but not for me.
Like
How
they
are the
have
lines?
kids, but they go without the kids.
Nah, they don't have kids.
Oh.
They are kids in their own mind, I guess. Was there a lot of lines and shit?
No, not really. I think the worst one we might have done was 25 minutes. But we did buy that new Lightning Pass thing, which is like a fast pass that you can use all day.
Do they still have a fast pass?
No, before they had fast pass, but they would give you 3 free. And that's all you had. And now you can buy one for the day.
Okay.
Was that her first time?
Yeah.
And
Was she amazed?
Yes.
Certain things. We were able to do a couple of things like the food we get to eat with the characters. The characters come out.
Characters?
Yeah, we did the breakfast.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
But she was scared of them, so it wasn't too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fucking weird thing to see, dude.
Well, they're huge. I think that's the problem.
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I'm used to seeing these guys on the TV. They're that big.
Yeah.
So, like, there was no moment where she was like, oh my God, fucking Mickey Mouse. Oh my God, oh my God.
No. And it was
more
like
"Ah!"
when they would walk away, she would say, "Well, what happened, Mickey?" And, but then as they would get close, she would like,
yeah. That's called fight or flight. She was in fight or flight right there.
yeah.
She wasn't sure what to do with those guys. Wow.
And then we also did. I had never done that, and we also did the Be Our Guest restaurant, which is more like a high end.
What is that? That's just the name of the restaurant? Be Your Guest?
Yeah, it's like Beauty and the Beast themed. It's in Magic Kingdom, and
You were the Beast.
Yeah. It's like reservation only. It's like and it's an automatic like 62 per person.
So you're becoming a Disney snob, is what you're telling me.
No, it's just something I've never done before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
don't
Was
know
it
if I'll do
good?
again. Yeah, the food was good, but I don't think it's worth it.
When's the next time you need to go to Disney?
Oh, whenever. I like it, dude. I enjoy it. So
You'll go next weekend?
if I could, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. How about you, Bum? You were at a football game or something? You said school game?
Yeah, I was. Sarah danced at the halftime of the Mavericks football game.
Did the Mavericks get a W this time, or?
They just lost by less.
Hard fought.
All right.
Yeah,
Ow.
26-14.
Dude,
Better than the Rams.
I've seen the picture of this team. Too many white guys on that team, dude. You know, we'll be lucky to get a win out of that.
And uncharacteristically, the non-white guys
He's the
are
quarterback.
the smallest guys.
There wasn't too many big guys either on that team.
Yeah.
Bruno's school won for the second week in a row. I believe they're undefeated. The Mavericks, shout out to them. I don't know what Hialeah High did tonight. They played. Maybe you can check, Tank. Did Hialeah High win? Was it homecoming tonight, or I know there was a reunion for Hialeah High.
I don't know if it was homecoming, but they played their rival HML.
HML, that's the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
I believe there's some sort of trophy or something.
Versus who? HML?
Yeah, Hialeah Miami Lakes. Shout out to the Thoroughbreds.
Was this today?
Yeah,
Yes,
there
it
was
was.
a special trophy that would be garnered by the winner of that game. What was it called?
Ah, dude, you got me.
The Iron Boot or
The Iron Bum.
the Winner's Cup or I forgot.
I remember there was all kind of shenanigans. If I said this already on the podcast, excuse me. Like one time they stole our mascot outfit. I remember. I don't know if we stole theirs.
I think in the years that I was there, which is hard for me to remember any of those years.
Is this recorded in history this time?
I don't think we ever beat HML.
We did not have good luck against HML in my years either. And we had a couple guys who made it to major colleges to play. Notably, Rock Preston, who played at FSU,
Yep.
was there. Brother of Roel Preston, who played in the NFL, return man, Packers, maybe Falcons. I don't remember who else. He went to Ole Miss, I think. But in the later years, baseball's been more their thing, like producing some major league players like Nestor and
Gio
Gonzalez. Of course, Charlie Huff was a long time ago. I'm sure there's some other ones in between that I'm not forgetting. I'm not
Yeah,
remembering.
they have other people that they had Ted Hendricks.
That's pretty fucking solid, dude. I don't know how many. What does HML have? Chris Corciani?
Chris Corciani. They have Michael Timpson.
Michael Timpson, receiver for the Patriots.
That's right, and Penn State.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, but when they weren't very good then.
Yeah, just the way I like them.
Yep.
Let's see who I had.
Any luck on Hialeah High, whether they won today?
I didn't find anything on it.
You know what?
We also had Casey and the Sunshine guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and Bucky Dent.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know Justin McCray?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah,
He played for the Packers at one point. I think he's on the Browns now.
Okay, but what school are you repping, dude? Because people don't know.
Oh, Miami Southridge. Sorry.
Okay.
And then I got a Brandon Oliver here,
That sounds familiar too, but I don't know.
a running back for the Bills.
I gotta tell you, I don't think that matches up to Hialeah High, dude.
Nah.
Ted Hendricks, is he Hall of Fame?
Yeah. The Stork. I believe he is.
Tim Lester?
Ted Hendricks.
No, Tim Lester's another player you had.
Yeah, I got Tim Lester,
What was he? He
Steelers,
That sounds familiar.
Jamal Carter for the Titans, and Roscoe Parrish for the Bills.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
And
You
you
went.
went
Yeah.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Okay, dude. I don't know what happened to Hialeah High, but I can't figure out the score.
Yeah, I can't find it.
All right. Dude, the Queen's dead.
Long live the king. I believe that's the proper response.
Edwin, what's up, dude?
Long awaited, huh?
Yeah, they have to change the words to that song now, right? And
God save the queen.
right now they say God save the king.
I don't think they changed that.
Yeah, I read it today, dude.
They actually changed that?
They make an edit for it. Yep.
But that's their national anthem.
I'm telling you, I read it. Tank, fact check me. This guy's
Looking it up.
This guy's not believing my monarchy skills.
Wow. I would have never guessed that.
And they say I'm persistent.
It says that the national anthem has reverted to original version now that King Charles is in monarch.
Wow. I would have never thought that in a million years.
I mean, they're not going to save her now, dude. Why keep saying that, you know?
He saved her long enough.
Yeah, we saved her for 96 years, dude. Would you say the Queen is a polarizing figure?
Not the way the media portrays her.
The media portrays her as a heroic figure, right?
The media has portrayed her in recent days that I've looked at it as actually
Royalty.
a stable figure in a chaotic world.
Yeah, dude, but let's be honest. Whenever anybody dies,
But
they're putting their best foot forward in the media and shit, right?
ask a black person what they think of the Queen.
Absolutely.
And they'll tell you, you know, white privilege. Those people never cared for us. You know.
I mean,
So-
I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. So I would say that in reality, they are polarizing, but they're portrayed, you know, obviously better.
Who the hell is not polarizing nowadays, right? It's almost like no matter who we talk about, there's Tom Brady polarizing, right? Would you say?
I think that's for you and me. For everybody else, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Actually, you know what? The Pitts. I was listening to a guy today on the Rich Eisen show, and he's from Pittsburgh. And man, he was talking about how much Pittsburgh hates Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and the Patriots. And
not surprising, because they kick their fucking ass all the time.
yeah, at crucial moments.
Yeah, dude, I've said it 50 times. The Patriots are what they were, and the main fucking enabler of that throughout the years was the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was supposed to be the number 2 team in the AFC. Oh, you know, 6 championships, all this crap. And, dude, the Patriots ran all over them time and time again, and especially in the playoffs. If not for the Ravens and the Manning brothers, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. This guy could have fucking 10 championships, you know? Steelers did absolutely nothing to stop him ever. And
the Eagles.
The Eagles, yeah, they won one off him. They lost one, they won one. I'll take it. But, you know, the Steelers, dude, terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
And they're going to suck this year, I think.
Worse than us.
Good defense, but you're rolling out Trubisky out there?
They're not playing Kenny?
This guy also said, funny you mentioned that he feels really good about Trubisky. And this is his frame of mind. Number one, initially he was put in one of the worst franchises, one of the worst situations in the beginning, right, with the Chicago Bears, with absolutely trash around them. This is what he said.
But wait a second. He did get them to the playoffs the first year, right?
Yes, but he stands by that. It was an awful situation. The coach sucked. The talent sucked. The GM sucked. Everybody sucked.
Who is this guy?
You know who it is? It's actually it was the fat guy from that show Molly, and that it's with the lady that the other fat lady. What's the name of that show? That he's a cop, Molly and something.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is
You don't know?
ESPN.
No, you don't. I guess you don't watch TV. So,
What channel is this on?
it used to be. It ran for a long time. Melissa McCarthy or whatever, and this guy did a show called Molly and Me or something. It was a sitcom on CBS,
And where did you hear this guy say this?
and he was on the Rich Eisen show today.
I'm sorry, you did start with this. Gotcha. Full circle.
Mike and Molly.
Yes.
Oh, is it the guy from Dumb and Dumber that takes the pills or no?
No.
No, that's not him. Billy Gardell.
All right,
Billy Gardell. Show a picture of Billy Gardell.
all right.
So he was saying that Mitch, he's very confident. He's a lifetime Pittsburgh Steeler, grew up Pittsburgh, goes to all the games, including the away games. And he says that Mitch is going to be a lot better than what people believe.
Okay. I bet you I could be wrong. Oh, he's a big boy. He was a big boy.
But
He got
yeah,
smaller.
look at him now. He lost 130 pounds.
Wow, dude. That's a whole human, bro.
Look at him now.
Wow, dude. I bet you Billy Gardell last year was saying Mitch Trubisky sucked. And now he sounds like one of those fans that now that we got him, I'm going to get behind him. He sounds like a real fan.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, dude. Trubisky was a real high pick.
Exactly. Well, we're going to know real fast if he's right or wrong, right?
Yeah, I mean, they still have a good defense, so.
Well, and they have some decent skill players. The running back is a high pick. You know, their receivers, they always manage to get good receivers. They drafted another good receiver in George Pickens. I mean,
dude, he was drafted second.
Yes.
Overall, right?
Yeah, you said a high pick, dude. It's freaking second.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that high.
I think it was the year.
Those are his stats right there. He's average.
He had a couple 3,000-yard seasons, I guess, and yeah, that's nothing to write home about.
No. And you know what this guy says is the key, believe it or not, about why he's also confident? That after he left the Bears, he actually went to the Bills.
Right.
And they really coached him up. And even though he was a backup quarterback, supposedly the rumor is that they really coached him up and he progressed and showed a ton of skill. And that's one of the reasons Pittsburgh got him.
Yeah, one of the reasons Pittsburgh got him is because Roethlisberger. What's that?
Because there was no one else.
Yeah, because Roethlisberger retired and the other guy died, dude. I don't know if they had gotten him before this. No, they had him before Haskins died. Even though I don't think Haskins was going to be.
No, Haskins wasn't on that team anymore, right?
When he died?
Was he on their team or with yeah, I guess he was on that team.
Yeah, actually, I think he was going to work out with Trubisky, so that doesn't really add anything to what I'm saying. But well, we'll see, dude. Time will definitely tell.
Find out real fast.
Mm-hmm. You might see Mason Rudolph back in there.
Yeah,
that's when you know the season's over.
Or they may skip straight to the rookie and play him.
Yeah, I mean, you already know what Mason Rudolph is, so
Exactly.
that guy's in there. You're probably waving the white flag up. All right, we're gonna do some NFL picks. We're gonna talk about 9/11 that's coming up in a couple of days, which is Sunday, full slate of football on 9/11. You'll probably see some demonstrations and stuff before games.
Demonstrations?
I'm sure there'll be like flags and
Oh,
I don't mean protests or anything like that.
Okay.
I mean like pageantry. I don't know what you call it.
Honor.
Flyovers, honor, and all kind of those kind
Got
of things. Yeah, that's what I meant. I don't know what you call that. And then, but back to the Queen for a second. What a weird. I was thinking about this today. What a weird situation that whole thing is, right? Like, you're born into that family, and it's like, you don't really need to do anything. You're just you're gonna get money, you're gonna get a title, depending on whose son or daughter you are, you'll get this, you'll get that, and then like when somebody dies, you'll become this and that, and you don't really rule, but you kind of like dress up and follow these weird protocols. And like right now, her funeral, I think everything that's happening has been planned for like decades. Like they knew exactly what was going to happen, when, where, how.
Because they have a process for everything. They have a process for the coronation. They have a process for, when they die. They have everything has a procedure, right?
Yes. And she is not the only person that died recently. You brought to my attention somebody else that died, not quite as famous, but somebody that we also, I don't know if we particularly knew his name, but we certainly heard of this scenario. I remember hearing about this so much when I was a kid. What's the dude's name?
Oh, Joseph Hazelwood.
And who is Joseph Hazelwood for the uninitiated?
Joseph Hazelwood was the captain of the Exxon Valdez, which at the time when it ran aground and created a massive oil spill was probably the most disastrous environmental incident or situation that we ever had. I think the Gulf one surpassed that.
I was going to say, I think that one did. But I still remember hearing about the Exxon Valdez way more for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, what was amazing about that was that the captain, they found the captain to be drunk, but they never prosecuted him for that. He had a felony charge for, one of the counts was a felony charge for drunken, I don't know what the technical term, sailorship or whatever, maneuvering a maritime vessel or whatever, drunk. And he actually got out of that, even though he admitted and it was proved that he was drunk. But they supposedly proved that him being drunk didn't cause the accident.
Probably didn't help.
Because I don't think he was actually driving, obviously, the tanker. It was a third mate that was piloting and actually ran it aground. But, the captain's responsible for whatever happens. But they didn't hold him responsible.
And this was in Alaska somewhere?
That's right, Alaska.
Yeah, and you always remember the seagulls. You would always see like the birds that were all covered in tar and shit.
I was looking at the stats of the dead animals, and it was like 250,000 seagulls, 22 killer whales, 300 seals. I mean, it was a lot.
Was the Gulf one the BP one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Gulf one they measure that probably in gallons or whatever, but the Gulf one was like a hole in the bottom of the ocean just all day long.
Right, because it was basically a well that was drilled, and then basically they couldn't cap it, and it was just naturally spilling.
Yeah, that had to have been worse. Like that went on for like more than a month. I feel like I don't know how long.
Oh, it felt like months.
Yeah, it felt like that thing would never stop, dude.
Yeah,
but like you never hear about that anymore, right? Like the Exxon Valdez, you would hear we're still suffering the effects. I don't know if they had better cleanup methods now.
I remember seeing something a couple of years after on 60 Minutes where they created like a special fund that everybody that claimed they had been damaged, and it was mostly fishing and oystermen and people that obviously lived off the ocean. And they were showing how this guy had to investigate all these claims, and there were hundreds and hundreds of claims that he had to investigate. And they were showing the damage that it caused to the oyster beds and all that. But yeah, after a while, it fell out of the news cycle, and that was it.
Yeah, we're on to Cincinnati.
I got the biggest 9 oil spills, but that one doesn't come up that you guys are talking about.
The Exxon Valdez?
Yeah.
I think like in Asia, there's been some pretty big ones.
The biggest accidental one is the BP one. And then the biggest...
Which is the Gulf of Mexico one?
Right.
Yeah.
And then like the world's largest is the Persian Gulf War, which they spilled the oil on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That was the biggest one.
They spilled that into the water?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they burned that.
They did burn a lot too.
Yeah.
I don't know about the ocean one.
It's an estimated 38 to 520 million gallons were poured into the Gulf.
Wow.
In the Persian Gulf.
Do you remember how the Gulf one here, the one that happened in the Gulf here, remember how that happened? They made a movie of it.
The one with Bruce Willis?
No, with Marky Mark. I don't know. Did it have Bruce Willis in it too?
I thought it did, dude.
Right. It all started with one of those oil platforms exploding.
An explosion, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
How does the oil platform explosion lead to a hole in the bottom of the ocean?
Because the platform has a drill, and I think what happened is they tapped into a methane gas pocket that's underground, and that caused the explosion, which ripped away all of the equipment that helps cap it.
Makes sense. What is the name of that movie?
I was gonna say Event Horizon, but it's not that. Isn't it something Horizon?
Maybe. Event Horizon is a movie about outer space. Yeah.
Is it Deepwater Horizon?
Might be that.
Yeah, maybe that.
Can you double check if Bruce Willis is in that, please?
All right.
It seems like he's always drilling, because he's drilling also in that space movie we were watching.
He's a driller.
Yeah.
Now he's just getting drilled.
Oh, dude. Uncalled
say?
for. Bruce Willis.
No, it's Marky Mark, Kurt Russell, Malkovich.
I may be mistaken Kurt Russell for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. But he is a driller, but just in a different movie. Yeah.
A driller.
Yeah. And then, speaking of other dead people, while we're at it, let's get them all out of the way. There's been a couple weeks, but we haven't been on the air in a couple weeks. Mikhail Gorbachev passed away a couple weeks ago.
You thought he was dead already, right?
I mean, I hadn't heard from him in so long that if you would have told me dude died a decade ago, I'd be like, yeah, makes sense. You know, how long's Reagan been dead?
Did Reagan die in 2004 or 94? 2004.
I feel like 2004, yeah.
2004, yeah.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin will probably say Gorbachev's a bitch, dude. He's the reason that we.
Well, I was gonna say, you talk about a polarizing figure. For a lot of people, not the United States, obviously. That guy kind of screwed the great, powerful Soviet Union in their mind. Certainly, Putin thinks that.
But dude, that seemed like that was all a facade. That it wasn't what they said it was. Like back in those days, you could fake it more. I even think the U.S. faked it more back in those days. Like
Fake what?
how big you are, how good you are, how powerful you are, how well things are going. Now with social media and everybody with a phone and everybody with an opinion, and now it's harder for somebody will show you how poor we are real fast. If we're poor. Back then, they could probably say we're doing well, and then there's people fucking dying of hunger. We don't find out about it over here.
Well, I mean, there were still people that would bring it up and talk about it.
Not as prevalent as it is today. What I'm saying.
What the difference is too is that information wouldn't get sent to the moron who doesn't look at the news.
Are you talking about me?
Why are you talking about me?
Yeah, dude.
No, I'm saying in general.
Oh.
No, I didn't name any specifics. I said in general.
I mean, you were looking at us when you said it.
Well, yeah, I'm looking into the camera. You're right.
And by the way, when did you get hired as a coach for the Dolphins, dude? Are you going to be on the sidelines on Sunday, dude, or what's going on here, bro? What position are you fucking manning, the buffet or the bar, or what are you doing? What position?
With a name like Bum, I'm manning both.
I don't want you to show us, but I bet you're wearing khaki shorts underneath that.
No,
attire. Okay, damn it. All right, you got me. Yeah, and then he started the whole. I'm probably saying this wrong. Perestroika, which was the relaxing of the economy and trying to, open up a little bit more. Which again, a lot of Putin will probably be like, "You fucking bitch," like.
Yeah.
You're the reason I'm having to fucking invade Ukraine right now.
Yep. Definitely.
But you never really heard about that guy much after he left power.
No, and then the next guy was like a real drunken bum. Remember that guy, Boris Yeltsin?
There you go. Yeah.
The guy was supposedly always drunk.
It was like a classic Russian.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wasn't much better.
He did not last long, right?
Boris Yeltsin?
Yeah.
He may have
5 years?
Well, when I was early as a kid, I remember that was a big joke.
8 years.
Yeah, okay. That's actually really long. The former leaders of the Soviet Union lasted very short, like just a couple of years. They would all be very old and in poor health, like Brezhnev. And
Brezhnev is the predecessor to Gorbachev?
There may have been another one in between there. But Brezhnev is certainly from, I think, maybe the 70s and 80s. Those guys didn't last long. They would die, and there would be like another one, and then it was kind of like the popes. They would die like really fast for a time there. And then with Gorbachev and Yeltsin, they started to live a little longer.
We had John Paul for a long time, right? As far as popes go.
Yeah.
That was his name?
John Paul. Yeah.
The second or whatever.
Now
we have an Argentinian pope.
Yeah.
Shout out to Argentina.
Stalin lasted a long time.
Yes.
Who?
Stalin.
But now you're going way back now.
Oh, sorry.
Speaking of Argentina, they tried to kill your vice president, dude. About 10 days ago.
Rouge.
For me, that was a Moulin Rouge, dude. She has like 5 trials that are in different stages, and I would not be surprised if like that was a fucking false flag psyop operation to like bring her into like a better light, like she's being persecuted and like they don't leave this lady alone and like, and talk about a polarizing figure, dude. I don't know if you talk to your family about this. I don't know what side they're on or whatever, but you watch Argentinian television and on the days after the attempted murder or whatever that was, and like they'll interview one person and they'll be like, it's a shame the gun didn't go off, and then they'll talk to the next guy. Oh my God, if they ever do anything to her, it's on. We have to protect her. We told Nestor we would take care of her, and she's a saint, and then like it's polarizing, dude. Does anybody say anything in your family about her or that situation?
Nah, we're not too invested into Argentinian politics.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, it's sad, dude. She stole a lot of fucking money, dude. They said
that I've heard.
They said at one point she was stealing $3 million a day. That might be an exaggeration. I didn't know Argentina put out that much. But, they have a lot of fucking steak and a lot of fucking wine and a lot of tourism.
Yeah.
So, but dude, that's a lot of fucking money, dude, to be jacking.
I'd say they steal a lot of money here too, but somehow it all works
everywhere.
But it seems like they're not going here with like a fucking ski mask to the fucking bank and fucking, you know what I mean? They're
they do it more subtly.
There's like some insider trading going on, some aid,
Because the amount of money here is so grand that the stealing doesn't make an impact, and yet when you steal in a smaller country, it does make an impact.
There's a bigger pot here to steal from.
Right. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, that makes sense.
And their scam was not a complicated one. Like when they got into power, it was weird how they even got into power, because there was this situation where the country went to hell and there was like a bunch of presidents within a matter of like a couple weeks. And then there was this one guy who then lasted a little longer until there was elections. And then a former president, Menem, who fucked the country, that guy put the peso and the dollar, he just like arbitrarily put them at the same amount. So like an Argentinian peso became the same as a US dollar. You can imagine anybody who had money, the disasters they did buying property and, getting richer. And then after a certain time, that proved to be just a farce. And they said, hold up, everybody's money that's in the bank, you can't take it out. They froze everybody's accounts. And by the time, it was called El Corralito, by the time that you were able to go and get your money out, your dollar to peso was now dollar to like 16.20. So you just lost like, I don't know, I can't do the math right now, but you can imagine you had a dollar, or you had $20, now you have $1. Multiply that out by your net worth, that's what people were dealing with at that point. So he runs against that guy. That guy wins like the primary, and they're going to have a runoff with that guy. He had only gotten 25% of the vote, Nestor Kirchner, her husband. The other guy drops out. He just automatically becomes president. When he becomes president, he gets his boy, and he's like, hey, start a construction company. Needless to say, the guy was just like a bank teller. He was nobody. Started a construction company. Almost all the construction deals that the government made went to that guy. Like 40% of them never got completed, but they would always get the money, and there would always be overruns, and the overruns would be the kickbacks that went back to them. And they got him with like notebooks, La Libretica is called, the scandal, where the guy who would go pick up the cash money, he had a book and he had like who he picked up the money from, how much money he picked up, when. He had it all like meticulously documented. They busted that guy. They got the books. They found a guy trying to bury millions of dollars in a I was telling you the story the other day. It's not a coven where the nuns are. What's it called? It's not a monastery either.
I thought it was a covenant.
It's a coven, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that for witches?
No.
I thought a coven was witches. Anyways, where the nuns fucking chill, they busted that guy. Like they heard noise, the neighbors heard noise.
A covenant.
A convent. Sorry.
Or sorry, a convent.
A convent.
There you go.
Yes.
So they heard a lot of noise in the convent, some neighbors, and they called the cops and they busted this guy burying like millions of dollars there to hide the fucking cash. But with all that, they haven't been able to take her down. And she was president herself for 2 terms. She got back into politics to get that immunity where they can't really, they can't
arrest you.
Yeah, they can't really
try you.
They're trying her, but like I don't think they can make her. She has a long appeals process that could happen a bunch of times. She'll probably die before. I'll hand it to. There was this one guy, I don't remember his name, dude, that he was ready to testify. He was the prosecutor, and he had all the documents. And like Monday morning, for example, he was going to go present them. Sunday night, suicided. All his documents disappeared. I believe there may have been a judge in another case. So like this guy that's going after now, I'm like, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy turns up dead, any day now, either by her or some crazy fanatical person, that's like, oh man, you're messing with our queen or whatever. Yeah. All right. Should we do the picks?
Let me grab some ice before we get that started.
All right. We'll wait for you. All right. I don't know if anybody else died, dude. Well, people died. That's for sure. There was a mass stabbing in Canada. I know that. And there was a shooting here, right? Recently?
Yes. Memphis.
There you go.
At the same place, the same place where the teacher jogger got abducted.
Oh, wow, dude. That's a sad one, dude. Because there's videos that have come out of that lady. And she's a teacher. Seemed like a really good person.
What's really sad in both of those cases is that both of the perpetrators had, very long criminal histories and had been recently let go or let out. That really sucks. Really sucks.
How do you solve that?
It's funny because, there was a lot of legislation passed recently. I had mentioned even Trump signed up on some of that, where, they started to let go of people that maybe were incarcerated, for like, weed or certain things that weren't that like dangerous and stuff. And
non-violent.
There was a lot of this whole prison reform thing, but
Kim Kardashian is big on that.
She wants to be in a Marvel movie, by the way. She said it would be fun.
Oh.
I think she thinks.
So I think a lot of that criminal justice reform, I may have gone a little too, too much.
Yeah, that's a tough one because people who are in jail for weed, and in some places where now weed is legal, it's like that doesn't make sense, right? Even though, yes, when you did your crime or whatever, it was not, but it almost seems like this is no longer criminalized. Why do we got to keep this person here? Not only are we keeping them here, it's a burden to the state too. Doesn't make any sense. And then that kind of frosted my ass a little bit with the whole Brittany Griner thing, which you don't hear that much about that right now. That's kind of gone away a little bit, right? But everybody advocating for her, and I'm like, dude, hold up. We got that problem here, with people here who actually are in places where that's no longer a crime. So it's tough to sort of even that out sometimes. But I think violent criminals is another story.
I just looked up the top 10 non-violent marijuana life sentences. And dude, some guy here got 2 life sentences for having. It doesn't say. But dude, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What up, Remo?
What's happening?
6 of them were pardoned by Trump. That they had life sentences for non-violent marijuana crimes.
Because if you remember in the 80s when they were trying to crack down heavy on drugs, they did a lot of those 3 strikes, punishments where it didn't matter what you did. If you came up on a 3rd strike, even if it was selling weed or whatever, you were going to get a harsh sentence.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. There's a lot of people in jail that probably shouldn't be in jail. And there's probably a lot of people in the streets that should be in jail. It's like it's tough. It's not that easy. All right. So we're gonna do the picks. First, before we do the picks, we didn't pick last night's game. Unfortunately, I would have picked the Bills, I think, but we're not gonna count that. Anybody watch that game last night?
I did.
Well, what's your I hate saying what's your take, but what's your take?
Snaps.
Wow. Well, first of all, I didn't realize that Von Miller went from the Rams to the Bills, and he made his presence felt big time. That Bills defense is stout. Josh Allen is playing at a high level. He's got some pretty good weapons. I mean, they look to be the team to beat in the AFC, man.
Dude, that other receiver just scores touchdowns lately. Gabriel?
Yeah.
Gabe Davis.
Oh, Gabe Davis. Yeah, sorry. Von Miller's trying to set a record this year, trying to be the first guy to win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different teams.
Yep.
There's probably a decent chance of that happening.
It hasn't been done?
Yeah, it's never been done. Not
Only
even Tom Brady.
teams, right?
What's that? 2 teams has been done.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Manning, Peyton did it. Haley did it.
Charles Haley has like 4 or 5, right?
He has 5 rings between the Niners and the Cowboys.
Yep.
Deion Sanders did it also with those same 2 teams.
Yep.
There's probably some lesser known.
Yeah. There's a ton, relatively speaking.
Are they still doing that 3 strikes thing, or is that a thing of the past?
I think in certain places that still may, depending. Yeah, I would agree with Remo, man. Von Miller looked like a difference maker out there.
Yeah, dude. Matt Stafford looked like a lion again last night.
Even though I'll have to say, I don't think that team will look like that the rest of the year. I'd be surprised. I think they'll get their stuff together and they'll be better, but they got some work to do. Obviously, not having somebody next to Cooper Kupp. I mean, Allen Robinson didn't do shit yesterday. But
How about Van Jefferson?
well, he didn't even play.
Is he injured?
Yeah,
Okay. Is he coming back soon?
I believe so.
Okay. Although Beckham's still out there, but I don't think he can play till November, probably. They're
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey got scorched. He gave up like a perfect passer rating. Here's the. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but I'm saying I've seen this before. Haven't you seen this before? You're the top-rated cornerback in the league, and like in a matter of a season or two, you kind of become a bum. Have you seen this before?
Yeah.
Revis,
No,
Sherman,
he was really good for a while.
but there came a point in his career where
What-
he quickly went from being top to nothing.
What happens is you fall off the cliff very rapidly, and very shockingly from
Yes.
one year to another.
And unless you have a coach and you're willing to become a safety or some, yeah,
Hot corner,
Yeah.
nickel, extra corner. Yeah.
yeah. If you're not willing or able to make that transition, it's kind of like a pitcher in baseball that young, he's throwing heat. And then when that, all of a sudden you're losing some mileage off that heater. If you're not able to start, throwing some off speed and tricking people, you're going to start they're going to start racking off you. And I kind of look at it the same way sometimes with corners. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Ramsey's going to bounce back, and the Rams are going to bounce back, as you said, I think, because they play a fucking good team, dude. It's the
Yes.
Bills have a great defense. It was impressive to see the Bills go over there and do that over there.
Yes.
That was
And to be honest with you, I don't know if the Bills will play. It's unlikely that the Bills will play at that level every game. That was a pretty freaking high level, dude. Their quarterback got picked twice, and they still blew these people out.
yeah, it got away from them.
Yeah, Allen threw like 2 picks, and they still pretty much they had at least 3 turnovers that I remember, the Bills, and they still blew them out.
Yeah, one of the picks was probably not really his fault. The receiver kind of bungled it, and then it ended up in the DB's hands. Dude, I saw some stuff where like 2-and-on people were like, Josh Allen underthrew a couple of passes. Why isn't everybody on him? Why is it always only Tua underthrowing people? I'm just like, dude, who would you rather have, dude? Would you rather have Josh Allen or you rather have Tua? Okay, obviously. So shut the fuck up.
I also think they run him a little too much.
For your liking?
Yeah. And I do understand that he's a lot bigger than, like a Lamar Jackson and some other guys. Dude, that guy's a big fucking guy, man.
All right, but let's go inside the numbers here. Inside the YBOG numbers, Tank. Can you give us Josh Allen's rushing stats from last year? I'm going to say he runs just enough for me, I think. I don't think he's not going for 100 yards ever.
Well, I think he had 60 yesterday.
All right.
A touchdown.
Let's look at last year, though. I think looking at last year,
Does he have 800 yards?
800?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Last year?
What do you think he has?
I would say he probably had like 400 last year. And I think that's a high number. I'm saying I'm probably going too much. But I don't know. Let's see. I'm wrong all the time.
If he ran last year like he did yesterday, he should have 800 yards.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. There's going to be games where he doesn't run for anything, probably. You're going against that caliber team, too. That's what I like. When you're going to, you're trying to beat the defending champions. Give me everything, bro. You know what I mean? Let's let it all. Yeah, exactly. Like Remo's saying, 60 opportunity presented itself. He took it. You know, I don't. He's not. I don't think he's going in there trying to do that. But you know, if given the up, and I think that's great. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna share it because I'm not sure.
Because you can't read. Okay, no
right.
problem. I'm going to tell you that it's going to be closer to my number than yours.
I don't know where rushing is.
He ran for 763 yards.
I think if you scroll down a little further down, there'll be a separate section for rushing, or maybe you got to click somewhere or something.
Rushing right here.
Yeah.
763.
Wow. All right, I stand corrected. That's a lot of running, dude. So you may be right. That may be a little bit.
But I understand that he's not a flimsy guy.
Did he play all 17 games, Tank?
He rushed for 10 with last night or Monday or Thursday, sorry.
Did he play all 10 carries?
For what, like 60 yards?
Oh, 56, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he play all 17 games last year?
Yeah.
So he ran 45 yards a game. That's kind of like running back numbers, actually.
Yeah, dude. That I think he runs. Dude, they were blowing these people out, and he was still running.
And he stiff armed somebody last night.
Yes, dude. I get it. He's super physical, and he's not a flimsy. He's a big as shit guy, and he's doling out punishment. But dude, that'll catch up to you, man.
Yeah, maybe dial it back a little bit. All right, I'm with you.
Are you arguing that you'd rather have Tua?
God, no.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh my God, dude.
It's not like I ingested any kind of illegal substance.
Hey, little trivia before we start. Fuck, did I lose it now? Okay. So there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players to win it back to back after switching.
Win the title back to back after switching teams?
Yeah.
6 players?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was more.
Back to back with different teams.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll give you Dion and Haley that we mentioned previously.
Yeah, should be.
That's 2, right?
Chris Haley is not on here.
Charles Haley.
Yeah, sorry, Charles. He's not on.
Okay.
Maybe he wasn't back to back. Dion, yeah.
Okay. I'm sure there's like some Patriot guys on here.
1, 2. There's 3 Patriots.
That guy for the Patriots who played against them and beat them as an Eagle, right? Chris.
It's 2 of them. Chris Long.
Yeah.
Chris Long.
Yep. There you go.
And LeGarrette Blount.
LeGarrette. I got caught smoking a blunt. All right, so we got 3.
There's 2 left, or there's 3. Yeah, there's 3 left.
Okay, we got 3, and there's 3 left, right?
Yeah.
And there's still another Patriot there.
Yeah, 1 more Patriot.
I'm gonna guess some of these last 3 guys are like inconsequential guys that just happen to be on those teams, not necessarily they won because of them.
It was somebody on the offense or defensive lines.
Just give it to us, dude. We don't know.
A corner, Brandon Browner. He was in the Seahawks, then the Patriots.
There you go.
And Derek Martin, 2010 Packers and 2011 Giants.
I don't even know who that was.
I think he is. And Ken Norton Jr.
Another Cowboy Niner, right?
Yeah. And only one of these guys has won it 3 times consecutively.
And it's probably one of those Cowboy Niner guys.
Yeah.
And it's probably Norton.
Yeah, because it's not Dion.
Right.
Norton, yeah.
And his father was a fucking pretty badass heavyweight boxer. Oh, rest in peace, Ernie Shavers, another guy who passed.
Yep.
A hell of a fucking hard-hitting heavyweight in that 70s golden era of heavyweight boxing, who probably would have been way better known and way, more
5
famous.
years earlier or 5 years later, right?
Yeah, if he didn't have to fucking go up against, Ali and Foreman and Frazier and all these other fucking beasts that we had in that fucking time, dude. Muhammad Ali had a famous quote about Ernie Shavers when he hit him. I can't remember what it was, dude. I'm fucking
Looking it up about who? Ernie?
Yeah.
When he got hit by Ernie?
Yeah, he would say, when I got hit, like
Ernie who?
Ernie Shavers. Like my ancestors felt it or some shit like that. Is what he said, like my people. I don't remember the quote. It was fucking funny. Ali had a lot of good quotes. Probably one of the best showman athletes ever, would you say?
Probably invented the
trash talking.
Yeah, the extreme.
I got it. It's, Ernie hit me so hard, it shook my kinfolk back in Africa.
There you go.
He also said, just 3 more minutes. Fight hard until you die. Do it now.
Yeah, Ernie Shavers was a motherfucker, dude.
His kinfolk.
Yeah. I don't know who else would be like Ali in that regard. Showman, shit talker, self-promoter.
Mayweather? Definitely shit talker, self-promoter.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know about showman, because he ran around a lot. He didn't really do too much.
Ali did a little bit of dancing and shit too, but he mixed it
right.
up.
That's what I'm thinking you're talking about by showman.
You know what I think?
Ali just talked and he was funny and charismatic and
But he was good.
You have to back it up.
And he backed it up. You know who was sort of like a great showman, an intense self-promoter, but kind of sucked really bad? Evel Knievel.
Oh, come on, dude! But he did some shit.
Yeah,
bro.
he did some crazy shit, bro.
No, but most of his jumps were catastrophic.
Kind of like Hot Rod. You seen Hot Rod or no?
Or Super Dave Osborne.
But dude, even his son,
actually was better than him, I think.
Robbie Knievel.
Yeah, he actually, I think he successfully jumped Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, dude, but
successfully
those guys, both of those guys had some fucking balls of steel, dude. The shit that they would do on a.
I know. I'm not saying forget the balls of steel. I'm saying that guy, like he claimed to be the greatest, stunt guy. And
I guess he was, right? But he
but who was? If
he wasn't the best.
I get what you're saying. Most of the time, a lot of the time, he
wasn't the most successful stunt guy, but he was definitely the greatest.
He finished with like a bunch of broken bones and shit. Is what you're saying?
Look up Super Dave Osborne, and that's really who he was.
Super Dave Osborne had some great skits, dude.
He was Super Dave Osborne, but in real life.
I think you're being disrespectful, dude.
I grew up with that, and I had all the Evel Knievel toys, and that guy was a great hero to me. Later, when I had a chance to really look at all his shit, I go, man, this guy fucked up more than he had successful jumps. You ever seen the slow motion of the Caesar's Palace jump? Dude, that's horrific, dude.
Yeah.
He looks like a rag doll, just like.
How did he die?
He broke every bone in his body, I think, in that jump.
He died kind of old age, though, right?
He had I don't know if it was liver or kidney problems later.
From drinking or
from drinking, from all the
medication,
from all the medication he had to take for pain. Dude, the guy was.
I know Robbie Knievel at one point. He was able to rehab himself, and also he followed in his father's footsteps in that too. But I think he was able to get himself out of that. Because think about it. One day you're jumping over Caesar's Palace. Next thing you know, you're 6 months on the couch taking pain pills, recuperating,
Right.
and getting hooked on, whatever.
That was the other thing that was fucked up about him, right? It's like he would talk up this great jump. He'd get really fucked up, and then you wouldn't see him for like a year because he was recovering.
So if it was successful, he would go right back out and do another one and get fucked up.
Well, no. Then when he came back, he'd always do a jump that he knew he could do. He'd be successful, and then he'd talk up another disaster where he just wrecked.
Kind of like a boxer. They give him like a tune-up fight after a loss or whatever, and then, build him up.
You know who I was thinking about that would talk a lot of shit and I guess was a showman like that, but wasn't very good, was Adrian Broner under Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked a lot of shit, dude.
Well, McGregor, right, is another one.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, hell yeah.
There's a lot of guys who talk shit and are nothing, like the Jake. Is it Jake Paul? Yeah, Jake Paul.
Oh,
of the old guys, what was the name of the boxer who died? He was like a dude, did a ton of drugs, like more of an 80s guy, a Latin guy. No, he's Latin.
Arguello or Duran or
all those guys did drugs too.
De La Hoya.
Who?
De La Hoya.
No, this guy died.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Macho Camacho?
Yes.
They murdered him. Didn't they?
I'm not sure, but I know he died, and I know he partied a lot. That guy used to talk a lot of shit.
Look that up. I think they murdered Macho Camacho. You know who else they murdered? You remember this guy in like 90s era? Dude, if you went to go see one of this guy's fights, you knew you were going to watch a fucking war, and you knew it was going to be entertaining, and you knew that both those guys were going to get fucked up, and you knew this guy was going to have like 2 cuts and like bleeding, but he was still going to be there. Arturo Gatti. Remember Arturo Gatti?
Oh, yes. I do remember that guy.
Dude, his wife murdered him, bro. In some other country, if I'm not mistaken. Let's find out about Macho Camacho first, and then we'll look at Arturo Gatti.
Yeah, he was shot. Camacho was shot.
I didn't know Arturo Gatti was killed.
Yeah, the Macho Camacho, I think, is an unsolved murder too. But
what were the circumstances of that? I thought he died like in a car crash because he was wasted or something.
Macho Camacho?
Yeah.
No, he was shot. Tank just said, I think.
Wow. Didn't know that.
He was actually involved in another shooting where they were carjacking him and they shot him, but he didn't die the year before.
Wow.
That sounds suspicious.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Arturo Gatti, I think he was either, I don't want to talk out of school here, but he was either cheating or beating this woman or something, or she was doing some sort of insurance thing, or I don't know. She fucking killed him though. That's
wow.
Yeah, and it was in another country, if I'm not mistaken, where like they went on vacation, and then I don't know if she drugged him and killed him, or some shit like that. I guess if you got to fucking drug a boxer if you're gonna fucking kill him if you're a woman, I would assume. Not trying to be anti-feminist here, but the guy was a fucking world-class boxer.
Even some men would have to probably do that if you wanted to kill him. You're sure as heck not gonna fight him.
Yeah. You got anything on Gotti?
Yeah, it was something to do with his wife. She was set free though, and then they did like a second autopsy, and they missed some like bruises or some shit. And then his death is remained unclear as of now.
Yeah. There you go. There was some shit like that.
He died of a violent death from asphyxia.
Yeah.
And Hector Camacho was carjacked and killed.
There was muscle relaxant and alcohol in his system.
And Gotti.
Yeah, and Gotti.
Yeah.
And Camacho, what, bum?
Camacho was carjacked and killed.
No, the year prior they tried to carjack him. He was shot but didn't die. And then the following year, a car pulled up and just shot him.
And was that in Puerto Rico where that happened?
Yes. And then Gotti was in Brazil.
Wow.
There you go. And he was not even Brazilian. I think it was
His
like
wife was.
There you go. It was like a vacation. Yeah, I think it was like shoddy police work. Later was fucked up, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the lines.
I got him if you want me to read them out.
I'll put them up on the screen.
Oh, you got
here.
it? All right.
Yeah. Can you see those?
Yep.
All right. So first up, we've got the Ravens. They're going against the Jets. I gotta do not take my advice on any of these games. I know Joe Flacco is lining up under center here for the Jets. Is this
Raven, right?
What's that?
Raven.
Former Raven.
Yeah, he got paid. Is this at the Jets?
It looks that way.
Yes,
Okay.
It looks like it.
Yeah, I would go on the. I'd take the Ravens here.
That's my pick.
-6.5. All right. We got the Eagles at the Lions.
Bum, you don't pick?
Oh, you want to pick, Bum?
Well, actually, I didn't pick before because you guys had started it so ahead of me.
Right.
Feel
But
free to pick.
Since we're starting here from scratch, I'll take the Ravens.
All right. I'll let you go first here, Bum. Eagles. And I hope I'm saying this right. It doesn't say that this is at the Lions, but I'm assuming that the first team is
the way that they're put, right? It seems like it is.
Yeah.
It seems that way. And I'll take the Eagles here.
Eagles -5.5.
By the way, I think it was Chris Sims on the Thursday game.
Mm-hmm. Was he the only one that took the Bills?
I didn't see that part, but I saw another article where he picked the Eagles in the Super Bowl, I believe.
What?
A lot of people are touting them.
You know what I'm saying? What I was just thinking right now, I was like, dude, 5.5 for the Eagles. Like they looked pretty stacked. I know they have Jalen Hurts, which they don't really believe in too much, but their team is pretty stacked.
They added AJ Brown.
Yeah. And the fuck, what's this guy? I think it's the cornerback. He was in the fuck, I can't remember what his name is. He's the one that calls Tom Brady his bitch.
What? I like this guy. Who is he?
Yeah. Why not? How come I don't know his name?
He like sacked Tom Brady. I think is his thing. So he.
Now I need to find out who this is so I can buy his jersey. And yeah, by the way, the game is at the Jets and this other game is at the Lions. Did anybody watch Hard Knocks?
I did not.
Brandon Graham.
Make sure to send that guy a Christmas card.
I'll send them a telegram.
He was signing. He was doing a signing recently, and he was writing on the people tell me he was signing, and he would write like Tom Brady's my bitch. Fuck Tom Brady. Fuck the Patriots.
Damn, my kind of guy, dude. That guy rocks. Who are you taking here, Tank?
Oh, I think he was in the Eagles. I'll take the Eagles. I think he was in the Eagles, and he played with them when he stripped Tom Brady, I think, on a play for that Super Bowl win, and then he got traded, and then I think he's back on them.
I'll take the Eagles as well, gentlemen. Next up, we have the Colts and They're going up against the Houston Texans, and they're favored by 7.
Does anybody know who the quarterback for the Houston Texans are?
Dude,
It's no longer Mills or whatever that guy's name is, David.
I think it is, but I'm not sure.
I had to look it up recently, and I already forgot.
Is
thought it
it
was
Davis
David
Mills?
Mills. Yeah.
Is it Davis
Yeah,
Mills? Or
Davis Mills, and the backup is Kyle Allen.
And Davis Mills, I think, has like the same numbers as Tua does.
This is.
I think you did that last year. I think you did that.
The Colts are an interesting team. This is like their 12th quarterback in 3 years. And it's really, like structurally, it's a really good football team. Great offensive line. They have a good defense. They probably have, right now, probably the best running back in the league. Some will argue that. And really, they've been missing a quarterback, right? And now they bring in Matt Ryan.
I'll take the Colts.
I'll take the Colts too, but
Yeah, same.
it's going to be interesting to see.
We've been in unison. Okay. Steelers at Cincy. Steelers are 6.5-point underdogs.
Wow.
Who wants to go first?
I'll take that. Bengals.
Okay.
Are
So
you
will
doing-
I.
Are you doing just straight pick 'em or?
No, we're going against the spread, and the spread is 6.5 on this game.
Wow.
Do you need to revise any of your picks?
No, but this is a division game. 6.5's a lot.
They're going with Trubisky, dude.
I know.
Some people are expecting a step back. Obviously, a step back would be not making the Super Bowl for Cincinnati, right? But
Yes.
I thought they got their way ahead of schedule, to be honest. Nobody
I'm
was
going to
expecting
take
it.
the Bengals on pure talent, but man, this is a division game, and that's a lot of points, man.
For game 1.
But I'll take the Bengals.
All right, so far we've picked all the same.
I know.
Next up, we've got the Niners at the Bears. The Niners are favored by 7.
Jesus.
That seems like a lot of points for this game for the Niners.
Every game here has been what? What's the smallest?
touchdown. A touchdown, basically.
The smallest spread has been 5 points.
5.5.
Yeah, 5.5, and it's the Lions. I gotta take the Bears. I don't think they'll win, but I think they'll keep it within 7 points.
Dude, I'm taking the Bears.
All right, I'll be different. I'll take the 49ers.
Yes, otherwise we're gonna have the same record, and that won't be fun. All right. And both these teams are starting rookies from last year, right? At quarterback.
No, they played with Garoppolo last year, didn't they?
No, I mean this year they're playing their quarterbacks that they drafted last year.
Yes.
Next up, Saints again. Another pretty big spread here. 5.5. These are big spreads for the NFL. 5.5 points. Saints are favored by 5.5 points against the Falcons.
The Falcons. Do you know who the quarterback is?
Yeah, it's fucking
Mariota.
Mariota, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, I didn't even know that guy was still playing.
And
I'm gonna go with
who's the quarterback in New Orleans?
Jameis Winston. I'm gonna go with
And if you remember, this was the argument at one point: who
Yes.
should be drafted before? You know,
Yeah.
it was like if you drafted the wrong guy, and they both turned out to be the wrong guy. I will say, I don't think Jameis Winston got a fair. I don't think either of these guys' story is written yet. If that's what I'm trying to say, I think both these guys still have more to offer than what they've offered.
I would say probably Winston a little bit more, but I would probably agree with you.
I don't think either one of these guys are terrible, dude. I
Uh,
obviously they're starting.
I'll take the Falcons on this.
I'll take the Falcons as well, only on because it's a lot of points here for me. And they're at home. So that's my thinking. But I think these two guys are going to have decent season. Winston, if you look at his career numbers, dude, I saw a stat the other day. His numbers historically for his first few seasons match up with like better than Manning, better than Brady, better than a few other guys, which was kind of, I understand, those guys are older and the era is a little bit different, but
Yeah.
they're still kind of modern era guys. He threw for a lot of yards. Yeah, a lot of interceptions too.
Yeah, I was going to say he also has probably as many interceptions as all those guys put together.
Hey, fucking Stafford led the league in interceptions last year too.
Yep, he sure did.
So who are you taking, dude?
I said the Saints.
Oh, all right. Next up. Oh boy, this is a big one here.
This is the grudge game, or not really? Only if Deshaun was playing, right? Or is it still kind of a grudge?
Well, hold on, dude. We're at the Dolphins and the Saints, Dolphins Patriots here.
Oh, I see. Oh, sorry, I skipped that.
Give me the Dolphins, dude, all day long, bro. You already know it.
Miami's favored by 3.5. Now we're Tua's 3-0. They've been touting that all over the place. 3-0.
Macaroni and cheese Jones, bro.
Yeah. I had some numbers somewhere. The Dolphins have been, over the last 10 games at home, I believe, 7-3 against these people. 7-3 last 10 home games versus the Patriots. And since 2015 overall, last 7 years, we're 7-7 against them.
That includes away?
Yes. Overall, 7-7, dating back to 2015. I remember, Bum, we were there. It might have been at the beginning of that. It was a meaningless game, and you said it's all about setting a trend. And I think 7-7, nothing to write home about, but it is against the Patriots. And then at home, 7-3. Those are respectable numbers against that team and that coach.
Yeah.
Hey, are you guys gonna be there tomorrow or no?
No, I pulled out of that, dude.
I pull out of a lot of things.
Yeah. With all that said, I'm taking New England.
No, you're a op, bro.
Listen, dude. When I hear 50 million times Tua's 3-0, Belichick hears that too. He's gonna do something.
Hey, real quick, soccer in high school, we went 2-0 preseason. Fucking regular season, we went like 0-18, dude.
Yeah, preseason doesn't mean shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Patsies also.
All right, that fucking hat, bro.
Before I go on to the next game, I want to do some side prop picks here. Over and under. How many games is Tua going to play?
17.
Wow, dude. You're crazy.
I'll say 10.
You're giving him 5, huh?
No, I mean 10 sounds really on it. How many games will we see Skylar Thompson start? Play in.
Well, they have Teddy Bridgewater.
I know.
I don't.
All he's got to do is take a snap. How many games will Skylar Thompson take a snap? I say
give him a deuce.
I say 4.
I was gonna say 4, but then he reminded me about Bridgewater.
Bum.
I'll say 2.
Okay. And the final prop on the Dolphins. You said 2, Bum?
Yeah.
And the final prop thing, how many wins are the Dolphins getting this season? I will give them 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say 9.
Tank's gonna fucking say 11 or 12. Watch.
Last year we went 9-8.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him 12.
12, you're in the playoffs.
Man, I hope I'm wrong.
I know, that's what I'm hoping.
I hope I'm wrong. And we haven't won
I'm-
a playoff game, I think, in 20 years or something like that. Okay. I just want to do those little prop. Miami.
08 was the last year they made it to the playoffs.
No, they
didn't.
made it. They made it. They made it
16.
like, yeah, with
2016 they made it.
yeah, with
Okay.
Tannehill / Moore.
So this is a pick'em, dude.
This is a pick 'em. The
Oh,
Browns.
dude, we didn't do the coin.
Oh, yeah. Maybe next week. I don't even have a coin with me. Pick 'em, Browns and Panthers. Who's starting at quarterback for the Panthers here?
Faker Mayflower.
And for the Browns is former
Joey-
Dolphin
Joey Brisket.
Jacoby Smoked Brisket.
Fuck.
It's a bum game.
This really is a pick'em.
I'm going Panthers, dude.
I would have to go the Panthers.
Give me Browns.
I know you're partial to the Browns. If I'm basing this just on the quarterbacks, I was semi-happy to get Jacoby Brissett here last year. I think Teddy Bridgewater's a better backup. I don't like that guy's attitude, dude. Like,
I think Browns have the better defense.
Whose attitude?
Jacoby Brisket.
You think he has a bad attitude?
Yeah, dude. Like, I remember in like some interviews, like early in the season, he was like, "Hey, nobody's expecting us to make the Super Bowl." Like, shut the fuck up, dude.
I remember that.
You don't say that, bro. Even if you feel that, you don't say that. And I think Mayfield does have something to prove. He wants to show. He wants to prove Cleveland wrong and Beckham wrong and everybody wrong.
Definitely.
That might not be worth anything in the long run, but at least I would feel that guy has a little more desire.
Did Beckham stay on the Rams?
He's a free agent right now.
Yeah.
They did not want to put up the money to have him rehabbing. He may very well end up on the Rams. He joked that he would end up on whoever won last night.
That his dad was asking.
I know Von Miller was like politicking for him to get signed to the Bills. That would suck for us personally as Dolphin fans.
I think just the way that they are constructed now is bad.
Right now, I mean, it's been horrible since Josh Allen came on board, no?
Yeah. I mean, imagine if all of a sudden like Beckham fell in his lap.
Correct me if my memory fails me here, but is the last time we beat the Buffalo Bills is when we had that guy Charles Clay?
Wow, that's going way back, dude. I would say I don't think it could be that far back.
I'm sorry. It was when we had what was that running back?
Bro, what the fuck?
The train. What was he called?
The guy who ended up on the guy who ended up on the Eagles.
Yes.
The guy with the bone-on-bone knee.
Yes.
The guy who was British.
Yes.
With the dreads.
You got it all right.
I know everything about this guy except his name, dude.
I got the date.
He
It was 2018, December
That's the last
2nd.
time we beat them.
Tannehill, fucking 18-yard pass to Devontae Parker first quarter.
Where's Devontae Parker nowadays?
The Patriots.
Wow.
We'll see him Sunday.
Oh, they have Lynn Bowden too. I don't know if he's gonna make it to the actual roster, but they picked him up.
We had Kenny Stills.
I'm sorry, Tank. You're saying that's the last time we beat them?
Yes.
Wow.
2018. 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember that running back's name? He had a weird name.
Don't
Anyways,
look it up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's force our memory to work.
it'll come to us. Let's move on. Jaguars, Commanders. The Commanders are favored by 2.5.
The Commanders.
Yep. Also known as the Redskins in another alternate timeline.
Was Commanders. Who the fuck is the quarterback? Heineke?
No, it's Wentz. I wince when I think of Wentz.
Oh no.
Oh God.
This
Fuck
has to be his final stop.
Jaguars.
You know what though, Tank? Can you pull up his numbers from last year? I am not a fan of this guy, but I
You'd
think
rather have him than Tua.
Dude, I'd rather have anybody in the NFL than Tua, probably.
Wow.
I think we spoke about this. Very few people.
Yeah.
Last year he did.
He had some decent numbers, I think.
3,500 yards, 27 TDs, 7 interceptions.
That's way better than Tua.
62% completion.
Right now, if you can stay on the field, you're better than Tua.
He went the same as Tua, 9-8.
He choked at the end. But at least he got to the end. I'll take the Jaguars. Fuck it.
Jai.
There you go.
I had to look it up.
There you go.
Yeah, give me the Jags.
All right.
I believe in Trevor.
Bum.
Wow. I'm trying to. You guys both took the Jags.
Yeah.
Damn, I want to be different here. I'll take the Commanders just because I'm crazy.
Okay.
Los Comandantes.
You guys both took the Jags.
Got it. Next up, we've got the Giants at the Titans. Titans are favored by 5.5. How about Daniel Jones? Would you rather have Daniel Jones than Tua?
No.
Mm.
I think you don't either.
I think I do.
Give me the Titans, dude. Is that Pencil Neck Jones? No, that's not him. I think his name was Brian.
I'll take the Titans here.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, fuck you. I'll take the Titans. I was thinking Giants, though. Grudge game here. Packers are at the Vikings.
Ooh,
Packers are favored by 1, dude. Slimmest of margins. Well, I guess it could be a half point. Do they do that? Do they ever favor somebody by a half point? I don't think they do that, right?
Can't recall that.
Yeah, I don't think they do that.
I'll take the Vikings.
Aaron Rodgers was recently on Joe Rogan. Talking about vaccines and immunization
and his teacher
COVID.
telling him he won't amount to anything.
Yep, and ayahuasca.
Saskatchewan.
Has he become like a caricature?
I think he's from California, right?
Yeah, Cal. He went to Cal.
But is he actually from California?
I don't. Maybe.
'Cause,
Yeah.
man,
Pick it up, Tank.
he seems like a California guy.
He seems like one of these guys. He's becoming one of these wacky guys that you would hear about from the 70s and stuff. Like
That's kind of what I just said.
counterculture.
Yes,
That's like what he's saying.
like a California guy.
I gotta tell you, I never liked the guy. I'm kind of starting to like him. As a player, obviously he's a great player. He's always been. I never liked him as a guy, outside of football. I'm kind of becoming a fan.
He's like you're liking him now?
Yeah.
He's he is from Cali.
Yeah, he's a nut job.
I think you're being disrespectful, but all right.
No. Disrespectful would have been like I'd spit on his grave and take a crap on his tombstone.
He's a diva.
Who are you picking?
I think. I'm sorry. You guys made your picks already?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Vikings, but there's two stories of interest for me. I'm dying to see how Rodgers does without Devontae Adams. And I'm dying to see how Derek Carr does with Devontae Adams.
Derek Carr will squander Devontae Adams.
That's what it looks like.
Aaron Rodgers
will make
Lazard a
Devontae
star.
Adams. Yeah.
He will
Hall of Famer.
I don't know about that, but he will make him a star.
That is the conventional wisdom. We're going to see if that's actually true.
Yeah. That's where I'm putting my money.
That I would lean towards that too, but we're going to get to see it.
Awfully quiet, the Chiefs, right?
Yeah. Because if history teaches us anything, you look back, whoever the number one receiver is on the Packers ends up being kind of a star.
Yeah.
Whether it be Adams, Randall Cobb, who else? Back me up here.
Bobby Woods.
Remember Donald Driver?
Of course. Yeah. And some of those guys went to other teams and weren't necessarily what they once were.
How about Jordy Nelson?
Another example, and another guy who went to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fastest white guy I ever saw.
Yeah.
Chiefs are favored by 6 against the Cardinals. And this is at the Cardinals.
I will take the Chiefs.
I'll go Cards.
And I have to tell you, that's another interesting story. How big was Tyreek Hill to the Chiefs?
I have a theory on this.
Is it going to be that it's all about Mahomes and they'll just plug and play Juju Smith-Schuster and things will be just perfect?
I believe Mahomes was using Tyreek Hill as a crutch, and Mahomes will make a step forward where he will not have that outlet where he can just roll and sling it anymore, and he's going to have to evolve, or he'll sink and start using everybody.
The short game?
Which he did at times, but I think that guy fell into the trap of relying on Tyreek Hill too much. I think if we're talking like a divorce, who's going to end up better off? I think Mahomes is going to end up better off than Tyreek Hill. And I'm saying Tyreek Hill's not even going to play 10 games for the Dolphins.
I would think that the receiving core of the Chiefs are going to elevate themselves because of Mahomes versus the receiving core of the Dolphins, which will probably downgrade. Right? I mean, can you honestly picture Tyreek Hill week 9 asking to be traded?
Wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. I mean, it's nice to have Waddle and Hill. That's nice.
Hell yeah.
Are we going to be able to keep them both happy with this little guy back there? I don't know. With fuck it. If I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I'll take the Chiefs because I'm talking up Mahomes. I can't fucking pick against them after all that.
Who was the other Chiefs wide receiver when Hill was there or last year?
I mean, they had a bunch of never had a solid number 2. Mikhail Hardman, Sammy Watkins whenever he played. Was it Robinson, the other guy they had? I don't know. They had a bunch of.
Who do you think was their more solid? I'm trying to compare the targets.
Darrell Henderson also? Or was that a running back?
That was a running back.
Sky Moore?
Sky Moore's the rookie.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys, McCall Hardman.
Mm-hmm.
They got Marcus Scantling. Yeah. So they got Juju and Marquez.
I'm just trying to compare the targets real quick.
So this may be their. Obviously, Tyreek is better than either one of those guys, but as a tandem, that's probably the best tandem they've had, right?
On the Dolphins?
I'm sorry, on the Chiefs.
Hardman had 83 targets and Hill had 159.
You're saying the Chiefs have a better tandem this year than last year?
Yeah.
That's hard to say. That's hard to say
when you're the same, right?
That's hard to say when you lose Tyreek.
I know Tyreek is better than all those players, but I mean, are they more balanced now?
Yeah, I think that I was about to say that. Yeah, maybe it's more equally divided.
I just think now you Mahomes can't just be like, I got Tyreek Hill. Now
can't just sling it.
Yeah, don't forget about Kelsey. We still have that guy fucking wreaking havoc. All right, let's move on, gentlemen. Las Vegas Raiders are at the Chargers, and the Chargers are favored by 3.5. I'll take the Chargers.
Me too.
I wanted to take the Raiders, but yeah, give me the Chargers.
Well, I mean, you could take the Raiders.
I mean, I wanted to because I have Devontae Adams in fantasy, but give me the Chargers.
Okay.
You got
Sunday
a problem
night.
with that?
There's no problem with it, dude. Sunday night game. Tampa Bay.
What?
Tampa Bay favored by 2.5 points at the Dallas Cowboys.
Tampa Bay is favored?
Tampa Bay's favored, dude.
We still don't even know who their quarterback is, right?
It's Tampa Tom. What are you talking about?
Is it though?
Or Giselle? I don't know.
I'm gonna go with my hate instead of my football acumen. I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys? I'm gonna back you up on that play, and I'm taking the Cowboys. And I think it's gonna be an embarrassing defeat in prime time for Tampa Tom.
All right, give me the Bucks.
You son of a bitch.
You fucking, that's it, dude. You fucking jinxed that shit.
Dude, Tom doesn't know if Giselle's fucking leaving him, if she's banging fucking DiCaprio, or Gronk.
No, she's older than 25. Have you guys heard that theory?
She is older than 25.
Have you guys heard that theory of DiCaprio or no?
Oh, he doesn't like girls older than 25?
Yeah.
I mean, this is rekindling an old flame for him.
I mean, he could just be banging, right?
Hell yeah.
It's not dating. All right, gotcha.
We're going to get to Tom in a minute. Let's finish the picks here. Last pick, Monday Night Football. We got they didn't plan this, right? Broncos at the Seahawks?
No way, Jose. Who's the Seahawks QB?
The Seahawks QB.
Or is it Geno Lock? Geno Lock.
Geno Lock. This guy just fucking made a fucking mix of both their quarterbacks.
Geno Lock. Yeah, he did, bro.
No, it's
Drew Lock.
Drew Smith. I believe they named Geno Smith the starter.
Wow.
No, they had to give it to Lock, bro.
Damn, dude.
He was not a lock.
You trade for a guy and the old bum beats him out. That's terrible. If that's not a sign to your GM that he should be fired, I don't know what is.
But dude, they're kind of similar guys, right?
That's even worse. What did they get for that trade? How many number 1 picks? Like 50?
Yeah, they're gonna rebuild with that trade.
Oh, the Seahawks.
Yeah,
I'm taking the Broncos.
me too.
Yeah, I'll take the Broncos.
Okay, that's the picks.
They got a 4th round pick in 2022.
Wow, a 4th round pick. Okay, maybe Seattle isn't that.
No, they got more than that.
13 months later, Seattle traded Wilson to the Broncos along with a 2022 4th round pick for Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, Noah Fant, Denver's 1st and 2nd rounders in each of the next 2 drafts, as well as the 2022 5th rounder.
So they got 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, a 5th rounder. They gave up a 4th. They got a backup
and they got
quarterback,
3 players,
a tight end, and a corner.
Yeah,
that's a win.
Yeah,
I mean, you're losing Russell Wilson, obviously, but
you weren't doing anything with him anyways.
you stole the fucking thunder right out of my fucking
cock.
I was gonna say ass, but
I have a feeling the reason you weren't doing anything with Russell Wilson was not so much Russell Wilson, but Pete Carroll and his philosophies.
Pete Carroll.
But we'll get to see. We'll prove that wrong or right. Also,
Monday.
He's got to go, right?
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, he's like Joe Biden at this point. How old is that guy?
I think so. I mean that that I have the bees.
Yeah, damn. All right.
That's
keep
not
going.
That's not going to really work in today's NFL.
What happened, Tank?
Nah, I just saw Pete Carroll's age.
What is he? 80 years old? I don't know how old he is.
No.
75?
70. He's 70.
All right. Belichick's older than that, but I think I'd rather have Belichick.
What about Andy Reid?
He's up there too. But he's winning.
He's 64. Yeah, winning.
Wow, he's probably gonna die first though if we're fucking taking bets on that.
You guys want to take a dude? You know what I was wondering? Did anybody I'm sure there was like a pool for Queen Elizabeth's death, right?
Dude, Marina the other day, she goes, "This bitch is dying any day now, probably." And she killed
when they announced that she was in the hospital.
No, like a few days before that. I mean, it's the classic story, dude. She's 96. Her husband died, last year or whatever, he's fucking 99 or whatever he was. You know what's funny? When you look at I don't know if you guys have watched any of the footage, all the hoopla. They certainly don't show or talk about fucking Andrew or Meghan Markle at all.
Dude, they don't show her fucking talk, period, right?
Yeah, she doesn't talk a lot, man. I mean, and she always has a purse with her.
The Queen?
Yeah. You ever notice that?
Well, she don't have no purse with her no more.
No.
El que no salta es un inglés. Yeah, the bum got him.
What else do we have here?
What's the purse thing, bum? I don't.
She does always have like a little bag with her.
If you look at any picture of her, she's always carrying a purse.
So what are you saying? That she's the queen? What the fuck does she need a purse for?
Yeah, like what
Oh,
the
alright.
fuck is in there? Like Kleenex? I mean, she's got like guards. What the fuck? She's got
It'd
a
be
purse.
interesting to see the contents of the purse, right?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get to see the autopsy report and all that?
No.
Okay.
She died fast though. Like we didn't know. It was like, oh, she's sick. Oh, she's dead.
Yeah. And it's still the point.
Yeah.
Though the people in England knew she was already dead before we did.
That was interesting, right? You have friends over there that like 5 hours before advised you, and then before it became. But it almost seems like that was probably part of their protocol. Like we'll announce it here, and then we'll fucking shift over there, and like we'll fucking tell everybody else.
Right. That's how it kind of is, no? Or do you think when like if Biden were to die, they would just fucking tweet it out?
But the fact is that shouldn't happen. That you could have pulled that off when you'd have to send like Morse code or a fucking telegram.
Or a pigeon.
That shouldn't happen before. Send this pigeon off.
Send a raven.
Well,
Speaking
you're
of-
saying that 5 hours is too much of a
Dude,
gap.
we have reporters and all kinds of people embedded everywhere. Anything happens and you get it real time. It's not like we'll need to send him on a slur boat to China. I mean, that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, that was weird. So, did they release a new iPhone, or they just announced a new iPhone?
announced.
iPhone 14, same
Yeah.
price as last year's model, $799. Better battery life, camera functionality, new satellite connectivity feature intended to help people communicate in emergency situations when their cell phone service isn't working.
Just say same bullshit as last year. You can just put that in there.
Right?
You're being tracked better.
Yeah, pretty much what it is.
Well, think about that last feature, what it is. If there's absolutely no self-service
Reception.
no reception, you could make a 911 call through the satellite network, which means that you could make regular phone calls through the satellite network, but they're not going to let you do that, only in emergency.
Control.
Because we're going to give that'll be model 229 where we give you satellite communication.
Yeah,
in
you remember,
non-reception areas.
were the original bricks that like drug dealers and everybody in Miami Vice had, were those satellite phones?
No,
Those were off cell phone towers?
the original cell phone towers for the most part.
Which, I mean, the service must have been really bad on those. I imagine.
It was very limited because there wasn't a lot of cell phone towers.
Is that how a car phone worked too?
There was a time that the car phone worked on another principle. I can't recall what it was, but then eventually it was cell towers.
Okay.
Or the briefcase phone.
Yeah, I remember my second car I bought had it didn't have the phone in it anymore, but it had like the connections for a car phone. And it
Damn.
was more-
Phone.
You had a car phone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, dude.
Yes, we're living the life.
Wow, dude. But you don't know how it worked.
I don't remember the technology. By the time I got it, it did use cell, but I think there was something else.
So you had a cell phone that was attached to your car.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember when people didn't carry cell phones? That was the first step. Car phones.
Yes. Unless you were Gordon Gekko.
Right. Because if I don't know if you remember seeing the equipment that was installed for a cell phone, you had this big transceiver in the back. You had a real
I thought you were gonna say some other sort of trans.
you had a real freaking antenna. You had a separate battery system. I mean, it was a lot of shit to have that.
And a lot of money.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like the briefcase phones, it was just a briefcase for the fucking phone. Like it had to have its own.
But that was a
battery.
satellite. I think that was a satellite, right?
No. None of those were satellites. I don't believe. I think they were radio towers at one point. Not cell towers. It's a little different.
Yeah, which was more local.
Right.
So we go off like what radio stations use?
Sort of.
Okay.
Like you had it was more line of sight kind of technology. I think the initial radio, like the initial what looked to be like car phones, like in the real old days when you saw them in the 70s and 80s, those were really radio telephones off radio frequency.
All right.
Like walkie-talkies.
Pretty much.
I remember I had when I worked at the parking garages, we had Nextels, and they had the that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I
And
remember
annoying because your boss could just oh what dude I'm fucking bro or I'm taking a shit bro, But it was.
I remember that shit in I was in elementary school when that came out. You already had a fucking 9 to 5, dude.
I was already on like fucking my last 9 to 5, dude. I had been through a few. Yeah.
You were fucking telling a Duke, no, you have to give me their license.
Yeah, dude. El Duce. So speaking of Dukes,
I'm sorry. How did we get into the car phone thing?
The
talked
5-hour
about the
difference from the Queen.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
And we were talking about iPhones.
iPhones, yeah, the safety feature
Oh,
or whatever.
All right, sorry.
So going back to another theme, Tom Brady. I want to talk about him for a second. We just picked the
Another
game.
Queen.
Yeah, only this Queen picked his team, but we didn't. All this talk of retiring, I'm not retiring, argument with Giselle, she's on vacation without him, I'm taking time off, we're in a fight, we're not even living together. You guys, we know he's not trustworthy already, right? We know he's is this shit real? You think it's real? Or do you think if it were real, he'd keep that under wraps? Or is I have a theory where I'm thinking he's trying to break a barrier and he's trying to come more mainstream, creating drama, and maybe there's no bad press, right? Maybe helping his brand with all this sort of circus that's forming around him as he transitions to his post-playing career, which is, it's coming sooner rather than later, obviously.
I kind of thought of it like the Kardashians, dude. Every time they get into a fight, or fucking they break up, or
You guys think he's prepping for his own reality?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know about that, but I certainly felt like somehow this is
You don't share that stuff.
helping his brand.
Well, remember, he's a public figure. He doesn't have a choice in sharing.
Well, it's gonna come out eventually, so
Yes.
It just seems to be way more out there than.
Yeah, just let it come out, right? Like, I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. I don't think I would share that.
You're not buying it, Bum? You think it's just whatever, regular life?
I think I know one thing. His wife has to be pretty pissed off that they probably sat down had a conversation about the rest of their lives, him quitting football, and him then changing his mind completely. That had to really fuck up their lives, man.
Yeah, and apparently, if you believe the reports, she's been on his case dating back to his New England days and before, of like, when are you going to retire? When are you going to retire? The kids are getting older. I stopped my career. You know, I gave up opportunities to be with the kids.
Isn't that just what any wife does, though?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm getting it already.
She married Tom Brady, dude.
Dude, shut the fuck up, right?
But you know, she was somebody in her own right too. It's not like she was,
right.
you know.
I just want this guy out of football already.
We can definitely agree there, dude. We stood here a few months ago and we danced like idiots, you know, and we were happy. And
I
then
stand by that happiness.
Twice. You danced twice, right?
and then he just shoved it right up her ass right again, dude, with no
The
Vaseline.
fake one,
But
then the real one, and then
I thought that was a big possibility too. So
if you go back and you look at that show, I don't know if we have time to pull it up, Tank. The first thing I said in that show was, I feel like this is not real. I feel like he's probably coming back, but let's celebrate or something, you know. Something.
yeah, that's kind of how I took it.
We definitely took it. So I don't know. I felt like it was kind of I don't know if it's a false flag, but it probably helps him as far as his brand. More people are talking about him. For a while, for a long time, he was not, for a player of his caliber and achievements, he was not talked about as much. Like, he didn't seem to break through the hardcore football fan world. You know what I mean? Like, Ali broke through. You know, everybody knew who Ali was. Everybody knew who Jordan was in their prime. It almost seems like he lived his prime. Maybe this is just me. I don't know. It seemed like, not necessarily in a bubble, that would be too much, but it almost seemed like he was a local New England talent. And only now in the last few years has he really, boom, they're doing, you know, shows about him. They're doing podcasts about him. He's in commercials. He really wasn't in a lot of commercials until recently. Jordan was doing Gatorade and Hanes in his prime. Brady's 45. You could say he's now doing things fucking 15 years after people like Jordan and Tiger Woods were doing it.
I got it, Randy.
All right, this is embarrassing, but we'll play it.
It says this is like right after you play like the little. I don't know what's gonna happen after this, but I know you ask a question.
Are we gonna get a strike for playing copyrighted material here?
I don't know.
Are we gonna get demonetized?
Actually, let me know if you can hear it.
All right.
Is Taps copyrighted?
Can you hear it or no?
No, I don't hear shit.
All right.
Well, it's
give me a second. You can unshare it.
But look at the sheer look of joy on our faces, dude. That was
apparently it was cold.
That was taken away from us. It was a cold night, afternoon, when Tom Brady announced his
all right, here, you know what? I'll do this.
Retirement. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
All right.
We shall
never surrender.
It's over. It's over. I still can't believe it, dude. I'm expecting he's gonna come back. This was a
fraud, fake.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll come back? I don't know, but there's momentous times in every man's life. There's the, marrying your love of your life, the birth of your kids, your favorite team winning the Super Bowl or a championship. But in between there, for me, is this day today.
That didn't hold up.
No.
But you guys did. You knew it. You knew it was coming.
We had our suspicions.
We knew it. We knew it. You can't trust this guy.
By the way, what you were saying before, I agree with some of it, but I have to tell you.
What was I saying before? I can't even remember.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
Where you were saying that, this helps his brand and he's, man, there's not a lot of football players that women know about. They all know Tom Brady. I mean, he's pretty exposed, man.
For sure.
Well, he has to be. He's won 7 Super Bowls. But I just feel for his level of achievements up until recently. Don't the last 3 years. Let's take those out of the equation. Under normal circumstances, he would have been retired already. Most players don't get to age 40 in any sport. It seemed like he lived a lot of his career without the public in persona and endorsements that another player of his character would have had.
And I think a big part of that was because of the Patriot system. They're not big into pressers. They avoid the media. Everything is top secret.
Nobody's a superstar. Nobody's a number.
Cheating.
Yeah. Nobody could be bigger than the team. I think they have all come out and said how much they hated that at this point. Brady has, Edelman, Gronk freaking quit football because of it.
Where the fuck is Edelman at? He retired?
He's got he's retired. He's been retired since last year. And he has a new podcast with a stand-up comic I really like, Sam Morril, and it's called Games with Names is the name of the podcast. And they have sports people. I don't know if they go over a game that has a name, like, the Sea of Hands every episode or so. I haven't watched it. It's on my queue.
So you like Edelman now is what you're saying?
No, I hate fucking Edelman, dude, but I like sports and I like that comic, so I'm going to at least check it out.
And you like that he's retired?
I definitely like that he's retired because that guy fucked us up every fucking chance that he got, and he fucking made one of the biggest catches of all time in a Super Bowl against the fucking Falcons, and I really hate that guy, but I'll check out one episode at least. You're not
gonna knock it.
I'm not gonna begrudge him on that. All right, that's it for the Queen, right? We don't have anything else to talk about the Queen.
Wow, we talked about a bunch of shit. Then you said we're not going to talk about the Queen anymore, right?
Yeah, this is what the Duke of Bourbon does.
Yeah.
He goes back to old shit.
Oh.
Well, when I said the Queen, I was talking about Brady.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Oh, okay. All right. But if you're talking about the other Queen, her coffin will rest at Buckingham Palace for 4 days and then lie in state in Westminster Hall for several more, atop a platform draped in regal purple with guards at each corner in case somebody goes to steal her corpse. The funeral will be roughly 10 days, so they have 10 days of mourning, and protocol calls for the nation to fall silent as her procession pauses at the entrance to Westminster Abbey. After the ceremony, her coffin will be placed in the same green gun carriage that carried her predecessors to their resting places, typically St. George's Chapel and Windsor Castle.
That Windsor Castle, pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, I saw that overhead shot. So They live there, but when they go do business, they go to Buckingham. Is that kind of?
Dude, they have a ton of places, and a ton of places actually in Scotland. I think where she passed away was Borough Castle, and I think that's in Scotland actually.
See, I would be hanging out at Castle Black, dude, if I had my choice of castles.
They have a
Castle
ton.
Black. Castle Black is on the wall
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones.
Yes, I do.
Has
remember.
anybody seen the prequel?
Did you say Moral
I have.
Castle?
No, Barmol. I don't know the exact spelling.
Balmoral.
Balmoral Castle.
Wow, it is in Scotland. What the fuck?
So they still reign over those people.
Do
Actually,
they
no.
though? I don't think they don't.
No, a few years ago they sort of did their
They seceded.
independence.
They're
right?
1776.
Was that the part of the Brexit, or is that something else?
No, I think it was part of something else.
I'm not up to speed on my shit. So why would she be in Scotland, dude?
They just have it's like so many different places that they have.
Like, it's not enough, dude. Fucking 3 castles. You need fucking.
Yeah, they got a castle in just about every
Well, it says
place.
that they seceded in 1707.
Did you say you've seen the Game of Thrones prequel? Speaking of castles and queens,
I have.
and without
And?
giving away anything.
You mean, do I like it?
Well, yeah.
So far, it's okay.
All right.
Yeah, but did you guys watch that new Dragon Ball Z movie?
It's on my queue, dude, to watch in 20 years.
Okay.
Is there a new one?
Yeah, it's in theaters.
Oh, really? An
Yeah.
animated. What is it called?
Dragon Ball Heroes. It might be gone already.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, dude, actually, I was surprised. You know, I got a lot of, I heard bad things about it because it released in Japan first.
Obviously.
Like a lot of bad reviews, but I guess going into it with that mindset, I enjoyed it.
Is it canon?
Yes.
Is it better than the Broly movie?
No.
I'm pretending like I know what I'm talking about, and the bum has no fucking idea what we're talking about.
The bum is trying to figure it out as we
He's
speak.
looking it up right now. What
Yeah.
is it? Dragon Ball.
Dragon's Balls. Is this a new Game of Thrones spinoff?
Yeah.
But it was good, dude, though. Like, for whoever's watching that appreciates DBZ.
By the way, it was, and again, we haven't been on the air for a while, but it was the 30th anniversary of Andrew a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, dude. What's you guys' Andrew's story?
I'll let you go first, bum, if you have one.
Well, I thought you were
you
going to
could
let me go first.
You could go ahead.
I mean, this guy wasn't even in the fucking sack, dude.
I was in my dad's sack at the time.
Not
just
even, bro.
Swimming around. Yeah,
You were
probably
not
wasn't.
even in his fucking loins, dude.
Yeah,
You were not
actually,
even
what was it, 93?
Yeah, you weren't even a glimmer in his eye.
92, right?
I feel like it was 93
I think it was 92.
because
What-
I
What's
was
the
in
over
high
and under
school.
on that?
I was in high school and we were doing 2-a-days. I was playing football at Hialeah High, and then it was the summer where you would go in if you were going to play football and do the 2-a-days, and then that shit happened.
I think it was 92.
It was 92.
Okay. Fuck you guys.
All right. The fucking, how much damage? What was the dollar amount in damage?
300 something million. I don't fucking know.
All right, bum.
Well, it's in the bazillions if it's extrapolated to today's.
Don't fucking
Money.
extrapolate me.
Yeah,
dude.
don't extrapolate shit, bum.
Yeah, bro. Don't be extrapolating.
What the, I don't even know what extrapolating means.
That means if actually I don't think you're using that in the right contents. I think you want to inflation adjust.
Okay, if that's easier for you to say, yeah.
Extend the application of
Because
to an
extrapolating,
unknown situation by assuming that existing trends will continue or similar methods will be applicable.
it's not the same thing, right? You want to do inflation adjustment.
Well, it means estimate or conclude is the second option.
See, extrapolating is like if I made $10 today, then I'm assuming I'm gonna make $70 for the week because I'll make $10 every day, and there's 7 days in the week, so I'm extrapolating. I'm taking what little data I have, and then like with
The
that
bum
data,
doesn't seem to concur with your.
whatever. We're talking in dollars from then or dollars from now. Is that what we're doing? Which one?
I don't know. Then let's go with then.
Then yeah, I'm like at over 300 million.
It's got to be in the billions.
All right, the bum got it.
It was billions with a B.
Yeah,
Yeah,
27 billion.
yeah. What the fuck am I thinking? $3 million.
And adjusted for inflation, that would be $120 billion now. No,
Yeah,
do they have that
extrapolating.
number? Do they have that adjusted for inflation?
We could probably plug that in somewhere. But do you have a story other than extrapolation?
It would be 50 billion, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
dude. I am drunk. Why would I say 3 million, dude?
Yeah, bro. No,
Well, I
you
said
said
300.
300. All right, don't beat yourself up, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3 million is just one nice house in fucking Coral
Yeah.
Gables.
Well, like from the actual experience, I was at my mother's house. We just, we lost power for a little bit. It came
I was gonna
back.
say, how bad did it affect Hialeah? Because it was more southern.
I mean, for me, it wasn't that bad. Now later, I felt so bad about seeing some of the things on TV, and I remember that my friends and my wife, we kind of went and volunteered at some places to help out.
Wow, dude, you're fucking real American.
Patriot.
You're a fucking hero, dude.
You're a patriot.
But it was a pretty big deal. And I remember people couldn't understand like why those people down south were just kind of standing around and just like looking over the rubble of their house. Like people didn't understand why people just didn't like pack whatever they could and get the hell out of there and live in a hotel and start their insurance process. People couldn't understand why these people kind of walked around like zombies. This is my house.
It's like unfathomable, It's like
Right.
Yeah.
It's not real. Like I guess. I mean, I don't even know. The worst one I've been through is fucking Katrina, and there was just a flood in my neighborhood, and I swam in it.
The worst one I've been through was Wilma. I saw, I saw shit get fucked up in the house, and I remember seeing my kids' play set being swept away. I didn't have power for, a couple of weeks. My daughter was a baby, and we were heating up her milk in a barbecue grill, and it was like, it was as roughing as we could, right?
Somehow I have mixed with the bad fond memories of some of the hurricanes.
Catastrophes.
Yeah, there's 3 that come to mind. The more recent one, what was the most recent one that knocked over a lot of fences in the area?
Irma, maybe?
Irma was 2017.
Yeah. That one, it wasn't too bad. We didn't lose power, but I guess for some reason, we didn't have internet, and we just stayed at home and watched a lot of movies on DVD and stuff. But that was a lot of just fences knocked over. Then going back to what I think it might have been Katrina or Wilma. I don't remember. That one I was living.
We had Sandy too, but it wasn't too bad.
No, Sandy was that was nothing for me, personally at least. I don't remember if it was Irma or Wilma, or
Katrina.
No, not Irma, Katrina or Wilma. That one, like my actual roof caved in my room, and like it was raining into my room, and my room was flooded. Like all my belongings were like floating.
In the Brown house?
No, I lived with my parents in Hialeah at that time. I remember like my DVDs were floating in the room, and like my action figures were floating
You
in
know,
my room.
a lot of people don't talk about that, but that was like a major fuck up, Wilma. That actually, if you think about it, that affected you and Hialeah pretty good. And I was all the way in Davie, and it affected me even worse.
Dude, I was in Color Ridge down south, and it was a big flood, dude. Like I was saying, we swam in it. There was a guy on a jet ski, there was boats. It was a big flood.
And
Yeah, we had to redo that whole roof.
they originally had touted that hurricane as a 1 or a 2. They reclassified it like maybe a year after as a Hurricane 3.
Yeah. But specifically Andrew, what I remember is being in the same house in Hialeah and looking through the front window at my neighbor's house, and they had one of those things you park under that have like the 4 poles and then like a tarp on top, and they had put like ropes over it to like strap it down, and that thing was just like bouncing up and down with the wind, you know. We just kept seeing it until eventually it just one of those, it fucking flew off. Like shingles off my backdoor neighbor became projectiles and broke a couple windows in my house, and then it was over. It didn't really last a long time, but then the next day I remember walking around and seeing all the downed trees and shit like that. We didn't have power, dude. I want to say for maybe 2 weeks, and what stuck to my head to this day is fucking cold showers. So you're sweating balls with no AC. Just the difference in temperature from being so hot to taking a cold ass shower.
It was beautiful.
I still can't do it to this day because, dude, oh my God, dude. And then people selling ice for like $5, $6, $7 a bag, dude, at that time.
What was that, Wilma or Andrew?
Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, I was just maybe a couple of miles down the street from you, and it really didn't do that bad of a damage at my mom's house.
Yeah, dude. But I do remember a lot of camaraderie amongst neighbors, like throwing the extension cord over from their house, you know, so you can plug in a couple things, whoever had power. Cops being stationed at the end of the block. So people, I don't know why, I guess power lines were down, you know, taking them a cafecito or whatever, you know, like everybody kind of came together and got through it. But, you know, those cold showers really stuck with me on that. But the house damage was not nearly as bad as that other one, which I'm not remembering if it's fucking Katrina or Wilma right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Wilma was the worst hurricane I've been through so far.
Katrina for me, dude. We were here for 4 years, bro. My brothers were outside in the rain. I'm sure my mom has the VCR tape somewhere. They were out there fucking fighting the wind. That was crazy. It flooded a lot where I was staying at. Yeah,
and this year, August, I think was the first August that we didn't have a named storm, and now there's like 3, but they're out there like in Bermuda. Is one.
I think they're gonna miss us. There's 2 that were coming, but they're missing us.
Yeah, we got a long way to go because Wilma actually hit on Halloween.
Wow.
Thanks, Mom.
Or just before Halloween.
I guess we can talk about 9/11 before we go. It's the anniversary is in a couple days. Actually, now it's past midnight. It's tomorrow. Yeah. So,
by the way, the documentary that I've been watching is called The New Pearl Harbor.
And what is this on?
The New Pearl Harbor, the full documentary, 9/11.
And where can you watch this?
It's on YouTube.
It's a YouTube new documentary.
It's from 2019.
New Pearl Harbor.
Hey, real
The
quick,
new
is
Pearl
that
Harbor.
actually the Queen in that?
No, that's from a movie, Naked Gun, and Leslie Nielsen, I think was the actor's name from the Naked
Yes.
Gun. There's a scene where like they spoofed her in a lot of movies in the 80s and stuff, and he ends up on top of her in the movie. Obviously, it's not
Yes.
really the Queen.
They had some real good impressionists of all the world leaders, like Bush, Saddam Hussein. They all looked real. The Queen.
Yeah. So, has your opinion changed on anything on 9/11? You mentioned something the other day. Was that after you watched this doc or before?
Okay, so before this doc, what I always thought was difficult to understand was the whole the lack of fighters being sent up quickly, and that, you know, basically all those planes breached without really ever being challenged or even having a fighter, you know, chase them. Nothing.
Except that last one.
Well, yes.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And I always felt that was one of the areas that was hard to explain. The documentary touches on that, and it goes through, you know, a bunch of things that I had heard of, but I never really paid great attention to it. Like on that day, there was only 4 fighter planes that were available.
Okay. Did you fact check any of this stuff?
Huh?
Did you fact check any of this stuff?
What I've seen so far.
I'm not doubting you, but whenever I watch these documentaries and stuff, I start to think, wow, can that be real? Did you look get from other sources? Was that like something that there's always a dispute, right? To like a bunch of these claims.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Is that disputed or is that like agreed upon?
That there was only 4 fighters?
Yes.
It is disputed.
Okay. Who disputes it? Government disputes it? Other?
Yeah, there's different sources.
Okay.
But
maybe check that out, Tank, to see how many fighters were available while 9/11 was going on. See what they say.
Now, the big supposed reason for that was because there was a major military exercise that was actually happening that day. But you would think
how convenient.
But you would think that would actually be helpful because
hey, they're ready, dude. We were practicing. Let's go.
Right, like it's rare that a war breaks out when you're practicing a war game. Right?
Bro. Not a fan of blowing up buildings and killing people, but they fucking killed it, right? With the whole operation, dude. Like, they could not have done that better than the way that they did it, right? The terrorists just absolutely killed it.
And then you have to see, like, you know, what the people say who dispute that, right? Like, for example, one of the reasons that caught us off guard so badly, and people feel that, you know, a lot of times people feel that we're perfectly prepared, and the fact that we responded so poorly shows that it's absolutely a conspiracy, right? But I think when you look at it and you hear some of the other sides of it, is that most of our defenses were always geared upon an attack from military forces into our airspace. And the primary defensive capabilities were built around that versus being attacked by our own airplanes.
Civilian.
Civilian, correct.
It says that pre 9/11, none of the fighter jets were armed, so they had no ammunition, nothing.
That's shocking.
So 2 fighter jets left without anything, with no sort of ammunition.
Yeah, it almost that's hard to believe, but if you want to justify that, I guess you would say, yeah, they're when they see that an enemy is approaching, they arm them, they get ready, like there was nothing going on. It still seems hard to believe that with as many planes that we have throughout the different branches of the military, that we wouldn't have more than 4 armed at any given moment in our own airspace. That seems crazy.
I mean, if you believe that.
Right.
I think
other than that, is there anything that caught your eye?
I think other than that's a pretty big deal though.
Dude, something that boggles me every time is that they found the passport of one of the hijackers. A cop happened to be walking by and he found it. And that throws me off so much.
That's another one that when I hear it, I'm like is that true too?
It melts the steel beams, but it doesn't fucking. It can't destroy the paper.
I mean, but is that important?
It's just
it's coincidental.
It's an oddity, bro.
It is, sure. But there's a lot of oddities like that occur when things get blown up. Sometimes there are minuscule things that stay intact. Other things are lost. I mean,
Building 7 is an oddity.
And it's not like that passport was the thing that made them know who the terrorists were. They knew that before that.
Yeah, but what are the chances that that's the passport that made it,
How about Building 7 where it doesn't get struck? It doesn't become part of the targets, and that collapses too on some fires. That one's kind of crazy. The whole Building 7.
So I haven't gone through the whole documentary. The whole thing about fighters not in the air always kind of bothered me, but I know some of the stories that sort of defend that. Some of the other things there that they try to show is how information was being released supposedly before actual things happened, which is really stupid. I mean, wow, like they orchestrated this massive conspiracy and then they trip themselves up by releasing the information before the actual events. Like, wouldn't you think they would be smarter than that?
Is this the reporting that they claim that happened in England before it actually happened here?
Well, no, it's like tracing statements. Like they have they show like Cheney, let's say, talking, and he says, at so-and-so time this happened when, it still didn't happen for 20 minutes later.
Because there is a story about that too, of some reporting, and I think it's in England, that they report something before it happened. At least they say it.
Yes. And there's some other news reports around the world where certain things are talked about before they actually happened.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the news, you ever wonder how you see those montages and they show different stations across everywhere and they're saying the same exact thing? There's an agency that all the news stories come through and then they get sent to and it's not necessarily the AP, I don't think.
I've seen what you're talking about.
Yeah. The other weird one too is the day before Rumsfeld announces all that money that's unaccounted for, and then everybody forgot about that afterwards. You remember that?
I know what you speak of. I don't remember the exact words around it though.
It was like in the trillions, right?
Yeah, dude. And it was like, oh, it's unaccounted for. Oh shit, 9/11. Fuck that. Forget about that shit. We're on to
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
I think it was literally the next day.
Yeah, it was. The way that they ushered out all those Saudis from here immediately. But then if you want to go anti-conspiracy or like, well, if they knew they were going to do that, they would have done that before. If it was planned, right? You would get those people out before.
The way the building fell, that one always trips me out too.
It is kind of suspicious. You're talking about Building 7, or you're talking about the towers?
The towers, they
They
fall
just
straight
fell
down.
straight down.
Yeah, Building 7 did it too. Like everybody says it looks like a controlled demolition. I wonder if they knew that. Let's say if they knew that that building was going to come down, maybe they decided to bring it down, but they don't want to say that they did. Is that a possibility?
Maybe it was meant to be a target. It had the explosives set in. They were like, fuck it, let's just do it anyway. They won't notice. Poof.
That's another theory that's out there. And
Yeah,
again,
I'm hoping that when I finish this documentary that they could tell me, because this is what a lot of conspiracy theories don't do, I feel. Like exactly lay out why this was done, right? Who benefited from it?
They leave it up in the air.
Risk and reward. A lot of them just throw out a bunch of theories and then I don't know. Isn't this strange? Isn't this strange? Isn't this strange? Okay, yes, it's all strange. But
why?
Does it mean that somebody orchestrated this and purposely did this? And if they did, for what purpose?
Well, a lot of those people will tell you that it's the war machine. We needed a war. We got a war. It was convincing that we needed to go to war. And there was a lot of put options placed on the airlines where people who invested on the airlines losing money, and I think they froze a lot of that money and they didn't get it. A lot of that shit happened. So there was benefit to a lot of people, people who are in the war business and people who knew that was going to happen, whether it was the people who orchestrated it or not. Cheney, Halliburton, he made a lot of money off that, right?
Hell yeah.
But isn't entering the war have to be the worst bet in the world? How do you know you don't lose? How do you control it? It's completely out of your hands.
Well, it's a business, dude. They got business. They went
into
business
to a certain extent, but I mean,
I don't think they care if they win or lose at that point. It's just like
but that's a big deal. You could lose everything if you lose.
You're not going to lose the U.S. That was never.
You don't know.
We weren't.
What about if that escalates? You don't know if that's going to escalate and other countries get involved.
Dude, but we're chasing fucking cave dwelling mountain people, dude. Like they're not going to come here. That was the beauty of that attack, dude. They did it with our own planes, with just a few guys, and
you could have done that just by going to Congress and asking for a war declaration. Not even that. You don't even have to declare war.
But you need public support.
One of the things that I think of is like, why didn't they just blow up like a bridge, dude? Kill 100 people, not
exactly.
2,000.
Because that may not have been enough to go
right,
to war.
But
that's
what
would have been enough.
Well, what happened?
They calculated 2,670 people.
No.
Airlines had to be hijacked. An elaborate plan to exactly start a war.
It was enough, though, for sure. And the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act came on the heels of that, and we all agreed to that. We got to be able to spy on
ourselves.
Yeah, we'll let you spy on us just to catch the bad guys, and then we're all getting spied on, dude.
No,
And
we're
still getting spied on.
We're fucked.
There's that too to consider.
I'll let you know when I finish it to see if they lay out.
How long is this thing?
Well, the problem is I started to watch it over the Labor Day weekend, and you're trying to ingest.
Is it a multi-episode
your
thing?
bourbon, and it's late.
Is it a multi-episode thing, or is one long?
I think it's one long thing.
Okay.
I think it's 4 hours.
Oh wow! You ever see Loose Change?
No.
That one's kind of out there, but that was one of the first ones that kind of started throwing a lot of. I think it was like 2004 or 5. That one's the first one that started throwing out a lot of like, this is weird. This is weird. That's weird.
I think the reason
Bush and Bin Laden connection too was weird.
I think the reason they call this one the new Pearl Harbor is because these people also made a documentary basically, saying that Pearl Harbor was a very similar thing.
Yeah, that one doesn't get talked about as much because it's way older and less information, probably. But supposedly, like, they knew that those people were on the way, and they either ignored it or
well, they definitely ignored it. There was
a lot of people say that about this one too, that we knew that was brewing.
Oh no, and that mentioned it, that there were reports. Look, they had already tried to attack the
Trade Center.
The Trade Center in 1993. Nobody ever talks about that, right? Because
Biggie Smalls talks about
no one like the World Trade.
Because it doesn't. Because then it kind of takes away from the primary conspiracy that they're trying to sell. But it was attacked in 93, and then I forgot if it was a year or months before 9/11. There were intelligence reports suggesting that terrorists could use commercial airliners against us. Now, that's great, but I guess people can't fathom the idea of having that information and not reacting to it immediately, which we obviously didn't, right? Because where do you start? You would just have to start. You would have to have started all of the TSA things that you did after 9/11 before 9/11.
Yeah.
And how does that work? So you get some Al Qaeda guys and you pay them off and you say, hey, look, we're in a bind. We need a war. We need you to take these airplanes and crash them into the World Trade Center.
We're going to give you 33 virgins, dude, in the afterlife.
Well, they believe that anyways. They just have to die.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay them nothing.
Yeah. And how is it that the Saudis have not been made to pay for any of that? There's a lot of information out there. Again, it's hard. We're Googling shit, right? We're not fucking doing investigative journalism, but if you go down the rabbit hole, there's information about spies that are here that are gathering and helping, setting these guys up with their training, funding, and that all leads back to the Saudis. Are we just, because we're buying gas from them, are we just not going to fucking punish them?
If you want to look at something that's consistent between Republicans and Democrats, it's how they treat the Saudis. And it's basically, they get off the hook for everything.
No matter who's in charge.
No matter who's in charge. That is consistent.
And is it all lead back to the oil?
Some of it is oil, not as much during the Trump years. But arms sales and military sales to them is probably right up there. They buy a ton of our military hardware.
So we're not going to we're not going to prosecute our best customer.
Well,
Exactly.
it does line in with the people who think we would cause like a major catastrophe on our home turf just to make some money in a war, right?
Yeah, dude, those people killed an American journalist, cut him to pieces, brought
They
in
have the audio recordings of his torture and custody.
they put up a video of like a fake body double walking out of there,
And they have that too, and still,
and we're fist bumping him.
yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
Yep. It sure is.
I think I just heard the government tap into the feed right now. Actually,
We better get out of here.
yeah. It's it might be bigger than, I don't know. What do you, JFK, COVID, 9/11,
Aliens.
aliens?
And how does that work? Do you think that every president, when they become president, do you think they share those secrets with them?
Maybe those are the files that Trump kept.
Dude, I think every president keeps files. I just
Come
kind of
on,
do, bro.
come on, bro. Come on.
I kind of do, bro.
You didn't
don't
think
think-
that before, though.
I mean, we knew that Hillary had some shit, right?
No, it got deleted, bro. We can't prove that.
It's on our emails, dude. It's on our fucking Yahoo. It's on our AOL account.
Yeah, it's on her fucking AOL.
With their modem.
her Hotmail or fucking.
It's on our fucking Yahoo. I don't know, dude. I know we'll probably never know the fucking truth of any of that shit.
I guess they do share that, right? It's in the files.
But I assume some shit gets destroyed too. Like, hey, we're not gonna be here no more, dude. We don't want nobody fucking finding out about this. Or then maybe Trump's right, dude. Maybe there is a deep state and there's these other people that know. And then if you talk to really wacky conspiracy theorists, there's a one world fucking new order, one world government shit, and those people running the shit, we don't even know who the fuck they are.
Because it's got to be super controlled, right? Because no other president goes in there and says, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I don't believe this. I think it's all a lie. And I'm going to do an investigation. It's almost like the first day you go into this room and, all right, we're going to talk about a few things. First of all, don't talk about aliens. They're fake. That's what you got to tell the people. But just so you know, here's one, you know.
You know who was on Rogan for the first time? One of my favorite conspiracy theories. Eddie Bravo, who's
Eddie
like
Bravo, yeah.
yeah, he's like a friend of his. He hadn't. I don't think he had him on in the Spotify time. I feel personally that like that guy was too crazy for Spotify, and they probably were like, "Dude, we don't want this guy on here." He's like a flat earther.
He's a wacko, bro.
Everything,
But he makes sense sometimes.
Sometimes his take on the alien thing. Back in the day, he was into aliens. Now he thinks that the whole alien thing is part of the one world government shit, and like that they're coming out and saying that they're real to set us up for the fake
To make us
invasion.
focus on that.
And he thinks that all the UFOs that people see are like fake government shit, and that maybe even military people who see it are below the pay grade of the people doing the fake alien shit. I'm not saying that's what I believe. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting to think about it.
But for a lot of this to happen, whether you're talking aliens, 9/11, JFK, there's got to be some, I don't know, call it the deep state or whatever. There has to be somebody consistently in control of all of this.
Soros. George Soros. There's probably like a small group, dude, that run everything. Banking, the Great Reset. You talked about a president coming in. If anybody was going to blow it up, it would have been Trump, right?
I don't think so.
You think there's somebody more likely than him to blow it up before? He seemed like the one guy that wouldn't toe the company line more than anybody before him.
I think it depends if it would have benefited him.
100%.
I see Trump completely transactional.
Yes, but he also has an ego that makes him want to do things that nobody's done and shit like that.
I think that if somehow he would be able to be the guy that tells the people that they're aliens and it would be him, he would do it.
Yeah.
But either there's no aliens or the threat of him saying that he knows is that they'll kill him.
Dude, I'm beginning to lean more that all those things people are seeing and all that shit is man-made shit. They've even said now recently that they are studying some shit that is not man-made. Like it's not from here.
No,
that's bold.
Yeah, they've identified things that they have said are not explainable.
I don't know.
That's a big step from where they used to be.
Right. They used to just be in the straight up denial.
Well, everything had an explanation. Now they're coming out and saying, hey, we're seeing some things we can't explain.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of that stuff is just about control. And if the best way to control is saying this, they'll say this. And if the best way to control is saying that, we'll say that. And then a lot of those things are long plays, long cons, things that take time, things that build.
And this ultra deep state or control mechanism, is that regional? Does every government have one? Or is there one that controls everything and has members of every government? How does that work?
I don't know. I'm speculating, obviously, but I would think that within every country, and some it's easier than others, right? Like in China, way easier to just fucking push a narrative, right? You control all the media. We can shut off your social media. We control the social media.
Right.
Russia, here it's probably definitely way fucking harder, But if you believe any of that one world new order shit, there's probably a small group within all countries that control all.
But have to be aligned with each other, right? Or no?
Well, for the purposes of control, yes, they may not align on other things. They may disagree on other things. The COVID seemed very universally, orchestrated, the responses in a lot of places, right? Some a little more strict than others, but there seem to be a lot of the same situations in a lot of different countries.
But we could barely agree on anything. How can we agree on that? And
we agree on more than you think.
And we're enemies with so many countries, and they're enemies with us. Was all of that put aside to increase pharmaceutical sales?
Maybe this one wasn't supposed to come out yet, but it slipped out.
Was it not to increase pharmaceuticals, and it was used to understand the ultimate control of people?
I think both things were in play. I think the
Pretty good observation.
The monetary thing was definitely a good revenue generator, and then control was a good dry run on control. Think about it, dude. Think about, dude, they had us in our fucking houses, dude. You know, over a flu, right? It's kind of like a flu.
I don't know. People died, bro.
People die of the flu.
Yeah.
And
not all over the world. Maybe like an
Yeah. No, dude. Here, the flu is a killer, dude. But I think in 2020 and 2021, there wasn't that much flu. Why? Why was there not that much flu? Was a lot of the COVID shit just flus? Because those PCR tests later, they came out and they said that they were all fucked up, that they gave a lot of false positives.
I think I told you that between the time that I got COVID and before that, I hadn't gotten sick since 2019.
I don't think I ever got the flu.
And I used to get sick, whether it was even just a basic cold. Every year, I would get a cold of some kind, somewhere between January and March, like clockwork, every year. I'd have a cold of some kind. The years of COVID, 2020 and 2021, I never got a cold. Why do some people say that I didn't get a cold? Because a good part of that time I was isolated. We were wearing masks and we were washing our hands, and we were very vigilant about making sure we wouldn't put anything in our, in our eyes and our
vaccinated.
mouth.
Dude, we were washing our hands, sanitizer.
Right, sanitizer. We were very careful, and that's why I didn't get a cold. That would be their explanation.
Just if you look at the flu numbers in the COVID years, the flu is way down.
But I'm just telling you about the seasonal colds that every year I would get. I never got them in 2020 and 2021. I didn't get them.
And you think it had to do with the isolation and hand washing and all that shit?
That's what people would. That would be the answer that I would be given if I'd asked that question.
It could have played a part.
It had to, right?
Yeah, but the other thing is, think about this.
Or did they not release the cold virus?
I've never gotten the fucking flu. Is that not real?
Or when you got a cold or when you got the flu the last 2 years, it was just called COVID. Think about this. Back in pre-COVID years, somebody called out sick a few days. We didn't say, oh, he took a test and he had the flu. Oh, he had the sniffles. He's out sick. Whatever. People get sick all the time. You're sick. Oh, he's out sick. A few days. He's out. Now, all of a sudden, oh, he tested positive for COVID. Oh, so-and-so has COVID, bro. Like, we never used to be like, oh, my God, so-and-so has a cold. Oh, my. Like, we never knew. We never registered that shit. We never,
it wasn't life-threatening, or it wasn't
but how many people that we had that died?
I personally,
that were young and healthy.
Well, they weren't old as fucking decrepit, but they were in their 50s, 60s.
Did they have comorbidities?
Dude, don't be fucking using those words with me, bro.
Did they have other sicknesses?
Nah, that I know of, no. But and then my boss's wife, on her side of the family, she has a few more than 3 that died from it. But I don't know the specs on that.
Yeah, I know people that died from it, but I can't say any of them were 18 and perfect health. No.
I even know someone who thinks that they got killed from the fucking vaccine, but I can't prove that. That's just what I've heard.
I look at athletes. I didn't hear of one football player dying of COVID. I didn't hear about one MMA fighter dying of COVID. I didn't hear about.
Yeah, but they have money, right?
But wait a minute.
Fucking Magic survived HIV.
And you send me these texts almost every day. Another football player died. What is that about?
That is odd.
Hey, I must say though, in soccer there has been a lot of people have collapsed on the field. I don't know if they're vaccinated. I have no idea, but it's more recent.
Oh, so you're saying that no one who's healthy in sports have died from COVID, but they're dying from the vaccine.
That's probably happened more because of the myocarditis.
But that's in a lot younger people, though.
Well, athletes are young.
No, I meant, isn't the age range
Like
there
kids?
like 18 to 20 or something?
I don't know. I know a lot of. He's right about that. You heard a lot about a lot of soccer players collapsing and shit. The football player deaths. There's been a couple just recently. They don't say why or what, but I don't remember hearing so many football players dying.
Well, I've read recently that there's been a lot of athletes that have died, and a lot of football players that have died for two main reasons: suicide.
Well, that would be related to the
And-
CTE.
Suicide and extreme exertion.
Was that like being overworked? Like
Yes.
I think I've been suffering from extreme exertion for like a decade, dude.
The name is the bum. I don't encounter a lot of exertion.
Whether it be light or extreme.
Yes. But I did read that.
But a lot of football players that have died has been like that they're retired, right?
Well, these last two
Definitely
are
young. Okay. Like I've noticed that in the 50s and the 60s, that's young relatively, but in the league, how many have died?
Well, the Ravens had one, right? Earlier this year, an active player. Then there's been some guys recently retired. Then there's been those older guys, which, older people are going to die. That's just normal. And then there's been a couple FIU guy recently, the brother from I think he's a Bills player, is his brother.
Dawson Knox.
Tight end.
Yeah.
And then there's this other kid that died just a few days ago. We don't know why. But I just don't remember hearing any boxers, MMA, NFL, MLB, people dying of COVID. And they put COVID on a lot of people that died. If you died in a car accident and you tested positive for COVID, they fucking said you died of COVID, dude. The hospitals were getting paid money for every COVID death. That's a fact. Whatever you want to say about anything else, they were incentivized to
I'm sure, yeah, there's exploitation and everything, right?
Yeah. But don't you think we would have heard if it was so deadly, like they said, so dangerous, that we would have heard of like, fuck, somebody died of COVID in athletics. That's how I kind of look at it. Yeah, you had some actors. They could be healthy, they could be unhealthy, they could have done a lot of drugs, they could have, been fat bombs. But like these healthy athletes, I can't even name one, dude. Can you name one?
I don't know of any prominent
or any third string
athlete.
receiver, third string lineman on the Dolphins. We would have heard.
Dude, but like, all right, so like those fucking healthy athletes didn't get it. We should at least take care of ourselves, right? We're not fucking healthy athletes.
We should become athletes.
We don't have that fucking money. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be the best solution. According to that, we should be fucking professional athletes.
which made it crazy to force those people to get vaccines and go through all those protocols when there was
Maybe
no,
that's why they didn't get it or die of it.
well, they didn't all get it.
Antonio Brown and Aaron Rodgers didn't get it for sure.
There's probably a lot of other guys that didn't get it. You would know when they would get sick, they would have to go through like longer protocols at one point. You know, they would have to stay away from the team longer, like Aaron Rodgers did, for example. All right. Enough of the scandemic. Anything else you guys want to hit on before we get out of here? We're over 3 hours. We're over our allotted time limit. Any parting thoughts? Go Dolphins.
For sure. Go Dolphins.
How about closing it off with the Super Bowl picks?
Super Bowl picks, dude. All right. Can we pull up the odds? Do we know what the Super Bowl odds are right now? At one point, Tampa Bay, they were low on them, and now I think they've gone up. Dude, Tom Brady's either going to be – I don't think there's going to be an in-between for him this year.
Well, right now it's got to be the Bills, right?
Probably. If you look right now, yeah.
I would expect that the AFC Championship game should be the Bills and the Chiefs.
So the lower the number, the better, right?
Right. The better your odds.
Yeah, Bills right now are at 525.
So that's like almost 5-1.
Yeah, the next best is the Bucks at 900.
9-1. So they're saying in essence that the Bills have like a 20% chance of winning the Super Bowl. I guess that's not crazy.
No, you know what? I would say the Bills are in the Super Bowl against.
And I would say that the NFC Championship, in spite of what you saw yesterday, would be the Rams and the 49ers again.
Wow, dude.
No way, right?
Wow.
Rams Packers, maybe?
That's crazy how the Niners got to the fucking championship game, dude.
Both of them of the dark horse teams, Cincinnati and the 49ers, were right in there, dude. And if you remember, the 49ers dropped an interception that would have put the end to the Rams.
Dude, and it's crazy how Jimmy Garoppolo goes from NFC title game, right, to we're going to probably cut you or trade you if we can, to, all right, you're our backup. That's crazy.
Absolutely no respect.
When have you ever seen that before?
Heck, and he had gone to a Super Bowl like in what, 2020?
Yeah, he has a couple rings from New England, but those don't count.
No, but I meant for the 49ers.
I know. When have you ever seen that? A fall from grace like that?
It's like they reject him as the leader.
Like they say, we're winning in spite of you.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, hey, look, I know you've taken us to a Super Bowl. I know you've taken us to an NFC Championship.
I know you have a great record in your great career.
We're going to cut you.
You have one of the best. What's his career record before we go, Tank? Can you look that up real quick? Jimmy Garoppolo's record as a starter? Dude, I think the guy has like
it might be the best one.
650, maybe 700 win percentage over his career. And we're not even sure.
71.4 win percentage.
That's insane, dude. And we don't even know if we want you on the team. We'll begrudgingly fucking have you as the backup, dude. And before Mike Tannenbaum said it, I thought that'd be a cool guy to have on your team.
All right. You want to wait until week 1 to make the Super Bowl picks?
I'm going to say I like the Bills. Obviously, it's easy to say that tonight. But it seems like the natural progression of things, the way that they've been going. It would seem like, that makes sense. Obviously, the odds makers are in agreement, and then the NFC's more dicey, right? You got the Rams, you got the Niners. The Packers are going to make some noise, right? Even though
I
they
think
always
so.
lose.
I mean, you would think so because of their quarterback, man, but I got to see him turn somebody else into an amazing receiver before I completely buy in that.
But
It's the
you've seen
grudge
it.
season.
Yeah, dude, he's pissed, dude.
I'll say Bills Packers.
And then, of course, the fucking bastard is there, dude. You can't count out fucking Tom Brady, dude.
No.
Even with
What
all
about the
drama.
Lions?
What about the Lions?
All right.
Some people like the Eagles. You mentioned it.
Yeah,
A lot of people like
they're stacked, bro.
And then there's always the fucking cowboy fucking delusional people.
Oh, I saw that they got eliminated already.
The Cowboys from playoff
Yeah.
contention
Yeah,
before playing a game
yeah.
How'd they do that?
seems mathematically impossible at this point. Yeah. So if I have to pick right now, I'll say Bills. Bills Eagles, dude.
That sounds
Call me crazy.
plausible.
What are you guys saying?
I went Bills Packers.
Who wins it though?
Bills.
Bills. Dolphins missed the playoffs.
No, dude.
That goes without saying. I'm going out on a limb, guys. Bold prediction. I'm laying it all on the fucking line, dude.
You're walking that tree limb.
I'm bucking the odds. Bum, you're gonna make a prediction before we go, or are you gonna keep us in suspense?
I said the championship games, and I'll go Bills 49ers.
And who's winning that game?
The Bills.
All right. So we all think the Bills are gonna win the Super Bowl. With Von Miller setting a record, winning 3 Super Bowls with 3 teams. Joining that group of only 6 players to do it back-to-back years in different teams.
Wow. You know that when anything is this for sure, it's usually what doesn't happen.
Yeah. 100%. All right, we should get out to some games this year, or at least watch some games. Maybe we can set up like a domino night around stuff.
A football game?
Like a night. Yeah, like we go somewhere, somebody's place, and watch the game, and then cap it off with dominoes or something. Like a night game or something like that. Or it could even be like a 4:00 game or something like that. All right, gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out. Super Bowl Dolphins. Let's get the fuck out of here. If we can.